right, welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lunch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch this, even though you missed the live party, guys. That is the best part, so make sure you are here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to TheIndianJesus.com for your very own official merch. We got tank tops only at TheIndianJesus.com. Guys, we do also have a Discord server. It's like a giant group chat, absolutely free to join 24/7. We are in there hanging out, having a great time. And like I said, it's absolutely free to join. However, if you are a member of this channel here on YouTube, you can scroll right below the video here, hit that join button. There's a few different tiers, but it starts at just $2.99 a month. Gets you members only live streams, all that other good stuff here on YouTube. But the big thing is that it opens up the full Discord server, including the after party channel. So as soon as we are done here, we are headed over there, and we don't have to worry about any YouTube censors, and you are not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. It is a good time, guys. Definitely come join us. So we got my co-host Morty in the building. So I had planned on looking back at a debate I did about 3 years ago with someone, and just about the COVID stuff, and it got pretty heated. But this came up, and I figured we had to cover it. With Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg coming out and being like, "Oh, I'm cool now. Facebook's gonna be free speech," all that stuff. We definitely needed to talk about that. Am I in the right one here? And so we got a couple clips here. Typically in a show we cover one podcast or one conversation, but we're going to jump around a little bit and see what is really going on. So as always, guys, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know.
Yesterday we heard major breaking news that UFC's Dana White would be joining the board of Meta. And we knew right away.
Hey, yo! Shout out to King Nirvana. Happy birthday. Oh, my goodness. Happy birthday. Welcome to the party, brother. So glad you are here. So glad you are having a happy birthday. And spending it with me, I am honored. I am honored, brother. Welcome, and happy birthday. Dilly to you, sir. Thank you. All right. Let's pull that back and try one more again.
Yesterday we heard major breaking news that UFC's Dana White would be...
Hold on. Wait. I mixed it up. I want this one first.
In December of 2016, Facebook launched its third-party fact-checking service almost immediately after Donald Trump had been elected, due to pressure from the mainstream media saying that there was too much misinformation.
There was a criticism that Facebook played a role.
Oh, wait, and of course, how could I forget? That makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Thank you so much, brother.
Disseminating some of this false information or fake news.
We're looking at things like working with third parties, helping to label false news. Misinformation is something we take seriously.
Let me know how this sound is on all this stuff. It seems like this clip is quiet, but Tim isn't as quiet. But either way, let me know.
With third parties, helping to label false news. Misinformation is something we take seriously, really seriously.
Everyday Americans had their posts' visibility limited, and many lost their accounts entirely. The government was putting increasing pressure on social media companies to fact-check and deplatform right-wing voices. The right were finding their voices stifled in the Newtown Square. Trump about to re-enter office, Mark Zuckerberg took to social media to say, "We are ending the third-party fact-checking program."
We've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes, similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just
tried and failed.
Been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US.
They will allow more speech by lifting restrictions on some topics that are a part of mainstream discourse and focusing on enforcement of illegal and high-severity violations. They're also going to take a more personalized approach to political content so that people who want to see more of it in their feeds can. A big component of the controversy was that Mark Zuckerberg said, we are going to downrank civic content. That's right. If you like sharing political memes or information pertaining to the goings-on of the world,
no Facebook for you. Shout out to Nick Lucchetti in the building, moderator to the stars. Very, very, very good to see you. Welcome to the party, brother. And just like he said, join the Discord 24/7, guys. We are in there hanging out, and that is what it's really about, building a community. Head on over. Welcome to the party, Nick.
If you like sharing political memes or information pertaining to the goings-on of the world, they actually restricted your ability to share this information. Kind of makes no sense. Meta's decision affects contracts it has with 10 fact-checking partners in the U.S. Its website shows it has similar business arrangements with fact-check organizations in about 119 countries, extensively in Europe, Brazil, and India. But only the U.S. program was changed by Tuesday's announcement. Now, the fact-checkers are pointing the finger back at Meta. PolitiFact is claiming that bias...
Cue the Spider-Man pointing meme. Like, no, you're the fact-checker. No, you're the fact-checker. Or no,
now,
you're wrong, and I'm fact-checking your facts.
The fact-checkers are pointing the finger back at Meta. PolitiFact is claiming that bias isn't the problem because they were following Meta's rules. And in one of the most hilarious headlines, the New York Times wrote that Meta says the fact-checkers were biased, but fact-checkers say, no, we weren't. I love it because it's like we've investigated ourselves and found we did nothing wrong. In this post from...
Which is pretty much how, any of the huge agencies work, whether it's Facebook with the fact checkers or the FDA doing this or whatever it is. They do their own research on themselves. We're just talking about how we were talking something about the vaccine, and the FDA doesn't do the studies. The manufacturers do the studies and send them to the FDA. So yeah, same-ish.
It's like we've investigated ourselves and found we did nothing wrong. In this post from Aaron Shirachman, who is leading the Poynter Institute, which basically decided who was going to be in this program, he says, PolitiFact will have more to say on this, but these are my thoughts. The decision has nothing to do with free speech or censorship. PolitiFact is an original partner and has been working on this project for 8+ years. The statement reads, the decision to remove independent journalists from Facebook's content moderation program in the U.S. has nothing to do with free speech or censorship.
See, now that is how you read text that's on the screen. Everybody's like, the decision to be removed independent from Facebook content. Like, what are you saying? Little pet peeve
from Facebook's content moderation program in the U.S. has nothing to do with free speech or censorship. Mark Zuckerberg's decision could not be less subtle. PolitiFact is one of the 5 original partners who worked with Facebook to launch a fact-checking program in the U.S. in December 2016. And our journalists have worked on the project for more than 8 years, publishing thousands of fact checks in that time. Let me be clear. The decision to remove or penalize a post or account is made by Meta and Facebook, not fact checkers. They created the rules. The role of PolitiFact and other U.S.-based journalists has always been to provide additional speech and context to posts that journalists found to contain misinformation. The role of Facebook and Meta has always been to decide what to do with that information. Facebook and Meta solely created the penalties that publishers faced and the warning labels and overlays that users saw. It was Facebook and Meta that created a system that allowed ordinary citizens to see their posts demoted, but exempted politicians and political leaders who said the very same things.
So again, basically just we'll push what we want you to see and throttle what we don't want you to see.
In case it needs to be said, PolitiFact and the U.S. fact-checking journalists played no role in the decision to remove Donald Trump from Facebook. Today, if they chose, Facebook and Meta could remove the penalties publishers face from posting false claims and create a system that allows independent journalists to provide additional information and speech to users looking to understand the entire picture.
Of course, the big question is, are they going to do that? Are they going to do that? And that's kind of in line with the running poll. Did Zuckerberg have a change of heart, or is he just going with the trend? And either he genuinely changed or he just bending the knee. Let us know. Let us know.
Great thing about free speech is that people are able to disagree about any piece of journalism we post. You can see all of our work online at PolitiFact. We don't use anonymous sources, and we provide a bibliography of sorts to all the information we consulted. When we make an error, there's a process to correct those mistakes. And there is also a process to make sure Facebook and Meta receive the correct information. That's how the information cycle is supposed to work. If
supposed to.
Meta is upset it created a tool to censor, it should look in the mirror. So
true. Shout out to Aaron Sharcockman. Yeah.
And Aaron Sharcockman, PolitiFact Executive Director. I think he meant to say Aaron Shirachman, but maybe he has a typo. Now, herein lies the problem. The journalists are saying, hey, we didn't downrank anybody or flag them or accuse them of anything. All we did was say that these posts contained misinformation. Facebook then decided what to do with it. The problem.
Well, yeah, like if you have the if you have the status in society to be determining that, then you don't have to make them do anything. Simply by giving your opinion, you are influencing. That's a hell of a name. Apparently, it's a typo, but I don't know.
These posts contained misinformation. Facebook then decided what to do with it. The problem for many publications like the Daily Wire, the Babylon Bee, and even Timcast, when they would flag our content as false, they would put a big old label on the front saying that we lied when we didn't. Often the stories that we published were either satire in the case of the Babylon Bee, or with the Daily Wire, Timcast, and many others, we were 100% correct. The reality is these third-party fact-checking organizations were massively biased. Take a look at this list of 10 third-party fact-checking organizations that had contracts with Meta.
So we have AFP Hub, not familiar with that, but Check Your Fact, factcheck.org, Lead Stories, PolitiFact, Science Feedback, Reuters Fact Check, Televisa Univision, The Dispatch, and USA Today, just in the US.
You've got AFP, Check Your Fact, factcheck.org,
read them.
Lead Stories, PolitiFact, Science Feedback, Reuters.
Did I say lead stories? I didn't say that, did I? I definitely didn't say that.
Televisa Univision, The Dispatch, and USA Today. There was only one partner with Meta that could even be considered right-leaning. Check Your Fact had ties to the Daily Caller. So let's take a look at the fact-check bias chart. One of the original partners, PolitiFact, had issues with left-leaning bias dating back to 2010.
No. They're completely neutral. It's just that reality has a liberal bias.
University of Minnesota School of Public Affairs had actually done a survey of PolitiFact, and they evaluated all 500 statements that PolitiFact had rated from January of 2010 to January of 2011. They found that of the 98 statements that PolitiFact had rated false, 74 of them were by Republicans. Duke University found that among PolitiFact's most prolific fact checkers, there is a heterogeneity in their relative ratings of Democrats and Republicans that may suggest the presence of partisanship. But hey, let's not just assume third-party analysis is correct. Let's actually show you many times they got it wrong and dangerously wrong.
Let's do it. We were right again. Right again.
Actually show you many times they got it wrong and dangerously wrong. Here's some really big ones. How about the Hunter Biden laptop story? In 2020, Facebook and Twitter took action to halt the spread of an article by the New York Post based on leaked emails from a laptop belonging to Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden. Initially, Facebook reduced the visibility of the news stories, adding a note saying, quote, if we have signals that a piece of content is false, we temporarily reduce its distribution pending review by a third-party fact checker.
And it's just so ironic that it is something as big as the Hunter Biden laptop story, and their willingness to just be like, nah, we can't, we got to take that off the table completely. And that is really what was their downfall. Obviously everybody hated the fact checkers and everything, but like for something to be so obvious, it's one of those things that you just can't. You don't have any room to deny or act like, oh, we made a mistake. Like, no, you're bad at this. You do not belong here.
There was a lot of attention on Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York Post.
Had that too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
So we took a different path than Twitter. Basically the background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, like you should be on high alert. We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant.
Be vigilant. And yes, guys, sharing the video does help so very, very much appreciated. Very, very, very much appreciated. The last time I saw YouTube having the facelift was a couple months ago, because like they added the dark mode, and I turned the ambience off. They have like a gray undertone, but I just like the clean black because that's how my phone is. But I don't know. Is that what it looks like for you? Shout out to Dylan Soup. Welcome to the party, sir. Except for me, the jury's still out on Zuckerberg. Okay, what? Tell me more. Why do you say that? Because I feel like a lot of people already have their mind made up. And of course, whether or not they are correct, the reasons that they have seem to be reasonable, for lack of a better word. Welcome to the party.
Distribution on Facebook that's similar to that. So just be vigilant. The distribution on Facebook was decreased, but people were still allowed to share it. So you could still share it. You could still consume it.
So when you say the distribution is decreased,
It got shared.
how does that work?
It basically, the ranking in newsfeed was a little bit less. So fewer people saw it than would have otherwise. So it definitely,
By what percentage?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it's meaningful. I don't know if the answer would have been don't do anything or don't have any process. I think the process was pretty reasonable. We still let people share it, but obviously you don't want situations like that.
Facebook later undid the block, which it said had stemmed from concerns around Russian disinformation. The decision to suppress the story while waiting for it to be fact-checked caused major political damage to Zuckerberg.
But remember, I mean, trust the polls at your own peril. But they said 17% of people changed their votes because of, would have changed their votes because of that story. That's huge. That is the election.
Next, how about the COVID lab leak theory? As coronavirus spread around the world, suggestions that the virus could have been man-made were suppressed by Facebook. An opinion column in the New York Post with the headline, "Don't Buy China's Story, the coronavirus may have leaked from a lab," was labeled as false information. The decision infuriated the U.S. newspaper, which insisted the piece just discussed the theory rather than making a definitive claim one way or the other. It was months later that further doubts emerged over the origins of coronavirus. We do not definitively know where the virus came from. The U.S. Intelligence Report in 2023 said its agencies had been unable to determine the precise origin of COVID-19. China has
But it's the Wuhan lab.
insisted claims the virus may have leaked from a lab in Wuhan are false, although some scientists have argued it's a possibility. In 2021, Facebook lifted its ban on claims the virus could have been man-made. Obviously, as it pertains to COVID, the whole thing was suppressed in favor of a mainstream narrative that often conflicted. Famously, Fauci said early on, you don't need to be wearing a mask, but then later said, you're going to probably want to wear a mask. And then, of course, mask mandates became a thing.
Yep. I remember that. Like, nobody needs to be wearing a mask, okay? And then 2 weeks later, you gotta wear a mask. It's the best thing. And then they were talking about double masking. And then I remember on CNN, they asked him about, well, what if 2 masks is better than 1? What about 3 masks? And even Fauci was like, you don't need to be wearing 3 masks. And then they showed a graphic. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it showed a graphic telling people to wear 3 masks.
What?
Stupid. Dylan said, so he said the jury is still out on Zuckerberg, and said Zuck liked Trump's post attempt victory fist. Fight. Who didn't though? But overall, it seems to be a bottom line regret thing. Doesn't mean it can't change, or Zuck truly has changed his views, but at the moment, it seems convenient. Regardless, the internet is forever. Fair enough. I mean, I like to, be charitable in the sense when people have they change their mind, or they say that they've changed their mind. I personally just don't. I think the timing's too convenient. But I'm willing to be proven wrong. Hey, shout out to TV Viewerski. Welcome to the party. Like that thumbnail. Hey, yeah. Thank you, sir. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. Right, I'm back in.
Later said, you're going to probably want to wear a mask. And then, of course, mask mandates became a thing. The confusion was largely due to these companies and the narrative machine telling you what you could or could not say, to where famously Bill Burr, the comedian, said, I just turn on the TV and they tell me to wear a mask. I do. If they tell me not to, I won't. Nobody really knew what was going on.
And I mean, I love Bill Burr. To the end of the earth, I love Bill Burr. But he is one of those people. I mean, he's an LA guy, and he's one of those people who thinks that he's not into politics, but he has strong political opinions, but he's not well informed. And so it makes sense why he believes, mainstream narratives and stuff like that. But you're just wrong, and you're very strong in your opinions. And I'm pretty confident that if somebody actually sat down with Bill and was able to match his wit, that's the big part. Then and be able to actually explain this stuff to him, then I think he would be a lot more based. But for being a liberal guy with a black wife, who he definitely that definitely pushes him further into the liberal camp, because he feels like he's got to overcompensate. Yeah, I think he could be based. He just needs a good talking to.
And they tell me to wear a mask, I do. If they tell me not to, I won't. Nobody really knew what was going on. Now, I don't think that's necessarily the fault of fact checkers, but we cannot live in a reality where you have massive tech platforms leaving everybody just scrambling, completely unsure how to actually navigate this problem. Perhaps it's a good reason to say, maybe we should just let the people decide. And hey,
Whoa. The people deciding what to do with their own lives? Government's like,
Oh, hell no.
yeah, they ain't about that. TV said, I could help Bill Burr, and I'm a better drummer than he is. I mean, that's not written. The bar's pretty low. He started when he was like 50, and he's like, oh, I got the double bass pedals. And so, I mean, I think we're all better. Well, maybe not all of us, but yeah, I mean, that is, I'm definitely a better drummer than he is. Who was it? Was it Nick that you were just sharing that video of the drummer? And oh yeah, he was playing some Dream Theater, and the guy covering it seemed to be, I don't know, better, but he learned the exact way that Portnoy did it, and I was like, that's probably harder to learn it specifically instead of just being that good and doing whatever you're doing. But shout out to the drummers.
Good reason to say, maybe we should just let the people decide. And hey, obviously, the COVID stuff gets a little crazy. A lot of misinformation, a lot of confusion, a narrative machine trying to tell us what to think when no one really knew. But how about the obvious stuff? Like this one. Kamala has never been referred to as the borders are, they claim. How about Biden wandering away from world leaders at the G7 meeting? And we can't forget the very fine people hoax.
Oh my God. This one enrages me. The fact that people still believe that he called the neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people, when he explicitly said, not them, the people protesting the statue. And they still.
Statements from Trump in 2017 that took until June of 2024 for a fact checker to confirm Donald Trump never called neo-Nazis and white nationalists very fine people. It would seem that fact checking for political advantage was the name of the game. Just take a look at when most of the fact checking occurred and the types of ratings given. Republicans were the party out of power, implying that PolitiFact should have found more.
Well, what do we got here? Let's take a look at this. So it says COVID. Oh, so this is where COVID starts. This is the 2020 election, and this is January 6th. What are they measuring? Oh, number of articles. So right around January 6th, Snopes was doing gangbusters. PolitiFact had their peak right before the election. And then logically, I don't know who that is, but they seem pretty basic, but they did jump up again right before the election.
More lies by the party in control. But does that necessarily follow? These left-wing fact checkers were paid big money to silence Americans. Two fact checkers, Lead Stories and factcheck.org, disclosed their 2019 funding from Facebook. Lead Stories was paid $359,000 in 2019 by Facebook, and factcheck.org was paid about $229,600. Lead Stories and factcheck.org account for more than half of all of the Facebook content review.
So it's not about just making sure the people are well informed or making sure that they're not disinformed. It's all about the money, as usual.
U.S. fact checkers in January of 2020. Facebook's total investment in 2019 would be about $2 million. Now, most of you have probably seen this. Most of you have probably experienced it. You're sitting here watching a YouTube video on a channel that routinely calls out lies from the corporate press, but we often do rely on the corporate press for this news. One of the biggest conundrums in the fact-checking space is that outlets like the New York Times, ABC News, and CBS are considered de facto true no matter what.
And that is, we talk about this a lot, but that notion. Do you trust if something's in the New York Times or ABC or CBS, one of those things? If you see it there, are you willing to trust them as the a trusted source or whatever they say is legit? Or are you at least willing? Are you at least willing to be like, okay, I know they have their biases, so let me try to see what nuances are here. And yeah, it's just sad that people are so willing to just go along with the BS. Shout out to TV Viewerski with the $10 PayPal. Said, "Hail Morty, hail Morty." There we go. Thank you. So very, very much, sir. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Very much appreciated. Thank you so very, very much, sir.
ABC News and CBS are considered de facto true no matter what. That's right. How do these third-party fact checkers determine if you said something true or false? They simply cite a news source that they think is always correct. Doesn't really make sense, does it? But that's the game. If the New York Times reports something, it is presumed true. If Breitbart.com reports something and it wasn't cited by the New York Times, they'll say missing context, false information. Although, to be fair, often, even if you do cite Politico, they'll still claim it was fake news. Here's one of my favorite examples of how prominent corporate news outlets are lying to you. In a story from 2017, Ukrainian effort to sabotage Trump backfires.
Shout out again to the Viewerski. Very much appreciated, sir.
Story from 2017, Ukrainian effort to sabotage Trump backfires. The story was written January 11th, 2017, and it opened by saying, Ukrainian government officials tried to help Hillary Clinton and undermine Trump by publicly questioning his fitness for office. They also disseminated documents implicating a top Trump aide in corruption and suggested they were investigating the matter, only to back away after the election. And they helped Clinton's allies research damaging information on Trump and his advisors, a Politico investigation found. And guess what? That story is still publicly available today without fact check, without correction. So we can just assume Politico was telling the truth, right? Maybe not. In a subsequent article for Politico, they wrote how a Russian disinfo op got Trump impeached. The Kremlin may have been laying the groundwork for blaming Ukraine for 2016 as early as 2015. January 22nd, 2020 by Natasha Bertrand. They wrote, 3 weeks after the election day in 2016, the Kremlin officially floated a theory that would ultimately lead to only the third presidential impeachment in U.S. history. Ukraine seriously complicated the work of Trump's election by planting information aimed at damaging his campaign chairman, Paul Manafort. The spokeswoman for Russia's foreign ministry told reporters on November 30th, 2016, accusing the Ukrainian government of scheming to help elect Hillary Clinton. President-elect Donald Trump, by this time, was busy staffing up his incoming administration, and some of his top advisors, including his son-in-law Jared Kushner and incoming National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, were making overtures to Russia's ambassador in hopes of establishing a diplomatic back channel to Moscow. Russian officials offered no evidence on that day or any other day that it was really Kyiv, not Moscow, that meddled in the 2016 election. Nor have U.S. intelligence agencies backed off on their collective finding that the Kremlin orchestrated a major effort to help Trump win office. I don't care what your opinion is on Russian interference. My question for you, or I should say the facts as presented, how can Politico simultaneously have two stories live right now on their website? One saying that Politico found they did this, and another story saying actually it was Russian disinformation.
Because they lie. They lie, they lie, they lie. It's exactly what we've been saying this entire time. And I know you guys know it, but anybody who is watching me for the first time, hit that like and subscribe. And this is what we've been saying. They are liars. TV Viewerski said, anyone remember when the not from NATO guy with the New Jersey accent was filmed in Ukraine in 2013? Pepperidge Farm remembers. No, I don't. Is that let's take a look at that. I don't remember that. Not from NATO. Jersey. I don't say it. I don't say it. If someone wants to grab a link for that, I would like to see it. Because I do not remember. Not as good as Pepperidge Farm.
At Politico found they did this, and another story saying actually it was Russian disinformation. Pick one. The reality is fact checkers simply decide which one they want to be true at what time.
Hey, we got Nick, Lou, Kenny. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much for the $2. So we are here to pump you up. And that is right, guys. Not only does every donation come with a treat for the Overlord here, make sure you check out the swole goal at the top of the chat. Because I'm too puny and y'all gotta bulk me up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So very, very much, sir. Much appreciated.
Fact checkers simply decide which one they want to be true at what time. So it's rather difficult, isn't it? The truth is, the corporate press has a narrative. Individuals who work for these platforms, work for these outlets, know that there are editorial mandates and there are certain things that they can or cannot report. Famously, Max Kaiser, who had a BBC show, posted he left because everything that he was going to talk about had to be vetted by the government. Well, of course, the BBC is state sanctioned, right? So how do you figure out what is actually true? I think the reality is you can't. Some people are going to believe insane things no matter what. They're going to think the moon is made of cheese or that extra dimensional beings are coming to Earth to influence our politicians.
I mean, you never really know. But yeah, we're in a media landscape where we don't have a trusted source of number one. So that is why you need to take in a myriad of different types of perspectives. So before we go into the more of stuff that they were saying on Timcast, I wanted to look at what Kyle Kalinske had said about it, and it's going to be fun. So let's finish this up and head to that.
I don't know. Maybe it's true. What can I say? Certainly don't think the moon is made of cheese, and I don't got any evidence about extra dimensional beings, but people are going to believe what they think makes the most sense. Perhaps the best thing we can do is advocate for a robust, meritocratic, independent media so that those who actually do the work and can prove what they say rise to the top. I firmly believe that if you're a news outlet and you lie all the time, people are going to stop watching. They're going to stop reading. I do think some people will probably still watch fake news outlets and still.
I mean, too many of them. But you at least risk the chasm between the people who are going to believe your bullshit and the people who can see, oh, you're lying.
Read them, but most people will try to find something that makes more sense. Hence, CNN, MSNBC, their ratings are gone. Some of these big news platforms are laying off their staff in droves because they are untrustworthy.
Remember CNN Plus? Did anybody get CNN Plus?
And at the same time, I can shout out Timcast. We've been growing quite well as more and more people come to watch our shows, check out what we have to say, because we try our best, though we are often wrong. We try our best to crack through the fake news and actually inform you on what's happening. Now, the corporate press is going to tell you that you're morally wrong half the time when you have an opinion. Ignore it. Feel the way you feel, think the way you think. We certainly don't get everything right all the time, but the truth.
Yeah, that's another good point. That being in this position, being behind the camera, realizing that I'm kind of a sensitive dude, and so when I say something and people either don't fully understand it or they attach some type of moral negativity to something that I'm saying, it kind of hurts. But you got to learn that there's always going to be people who hate you, no matter who you are, no matter what your positions are. And you just have to have the build the ability to have trust in your own instinct about this stuff.
Truth is, the fact checkers were biased. The machine was obviously biased, and it was for political advantages, largely of the Democrats. Bingo. So we'll wrap it up there. Make sure to smash that like button, share the show with everyone you know, subscribe to this channel, check it out. We've got.
All right, so let's move on. And again, I did have these out of order. Where's Kylie boy? So this is how. So that was just a good kind of overview of what is at stake. What does that mean when Zuckerberg is saying we're going to go more free speech, we're going to work with Donald Trump, all that kind of stuff. Those are the things that, at least from this side of it, that is what we want changed. And so again, even if he is just bending the knee, if he makes those changes, I loved Facebook in its heyday. That was my favorite platform. But the problem now is that I think it's just a little bit too late, because the beauty of Facebook was that it was people that you already knew in real life. And so it wasn't completely disconnected. You might get in an argument with somebody, but then you see him out at the pub the next day or whatever. And then when everything got so super divided and everything got so ban heavy, then I just lost touch with all of those people. There were either people who, or as soon as you said something either positive about Trump, or that you weren't so much with the lefties, then blocked, gone forever, and then it was just an echo chamber of people only telling you what you already believe or what you want to hear. And so I mean, hey, I would love if he really does a good job, and I'm able to go back onto Facebook, and for no other reason than I don't have any personal social media anymore. Everything is under TheIndianJesus. And so, like, let's say, one of you pisses me off and I want to go, oh, this chatter was, I can't do that because it's not my personal thing. And then everyone's like, oh, well, who's it? You know what I mean? And maybe I'm blowing that a little bit out of proportion. But, just to have my own personal page again would be beautiful. King Nirvana said, the cream always rises to the top. And you're about to see the cream of... Glad I did not read that out loud. Nixon, I'm not going to be paid to be tortured.
Come on, man.
Why not? That's the best way. You're about to see the white hot cream. Well, that's better than this one. I mean, out of context, this is way worse. This is way worse. All right, let's see what.
All right, y'all. So
for us. So, anybody have a prediction? Anybody have a prediction as to what Kyle, Mr. Lefty, is going to say about this? I only watched enough to see the general vibe of what his opinion is, but I would have expected that that he would have a similar type of skepticism towards the legitimacy of what Zuckerberg is saying. I think we all have reason to be like, are you just cozying up to Trump because he won? I will say orange man bad. Yep, you called it. But I mean specifically about Zuckerberg. What do you think he's going to say about Zuckerberg? Carlos Danger. Have I considered an alter ego called Carlos Danger? I have not, but now that's in my mind. Can you honestly he's going to bullshit and moan, but I hope not. All right, well, only one way to find out.
All right, y'all. So as predicted, Mark Zuckerberg is now bending the knee to Trump. We've seen this with virtually every big tech executive asshole. They've done it. The heads of, the most important major multinational corporations, they've all bent the knee. We've heard story after story of, one owner after another making the trek to Mar-a-Lago and giving Trump directly $1 million check for his inauguration. Jeff Bezos did it. Tim Cook did it. Executives who in the past were more likely to be anti-Trump. They've decided, hey, I can't beat him, so I may as well join him. I'm going to hop on the bandwagon here.
So for starting out, he's right there with us, being like, oh, clearly you're just sucking up to whoever is going to be most advantageous.
So what you're about to see is Mark Zuckerberg making an announcement about the future of Meta, Facebook, the same name, right? Or same.
No, it's Meta that owns Facebook and Instagram. They're not the same company,
I should say. And this is nothing but complete and total victory for Trump. This is the saddest example of pathetic tail between your legs capitulation that I've ever seen in my life. So let's watch and we'll break it down as we go here. Here's
So, of course, if you did not see the clip here with Zuckerberg, Kyle is going to go through it and break it apart. But we have another clip where they just play it outright. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's only a couple minutes. But TV said, "Whoa, Kyle got it right." I mean, let's hold on. Let's hold on and let's see. He's right on that, but leave it up to Kyle Kalinske to go left.
Zuckerberg announcing his new plans for Facebook.
Hey everyone, I want to talk about something important today because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly.
By being able to talk about them, right?
So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's
that's a really good point. We are the 1%. Millions of people. Shout out to Jaden. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya.
They accidentally censor just 1% of posts. That's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes, similar to X, starting in the US.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. The fact checkers being, the fact checkers versus community notes where everybody is able to input and we can give a broader context. And even if that broader context is incorrect, then you just go to the community to be able to fix the incorrect community note.
After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created.
That's quite an admission right there. That is quite an admission right there. Because basically what he's saying is, so long as you have fact checkers, it's always going to appear like they have a liberal bias, because it just happens to be the case that conservatives and Republicans lie way, way, way more.
You want to take that back yet, bro? You want to take that back yet? So he listened to the same video we did. And let's actually go back. We'll go to the exact line that he responded to. And he thinks that this is Mark Zuckerberg just saying, okay, it's fine to lie now. Which, I mean, he's not saying, but obviously that's not the purpose.
Saying is, that's quite a mission.
But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created.
That's all he said. The fact checkers have been biased. And Kyle sees that as a bad thing. Bad thing that they're getting rid of it. Meaning that he wants there to be biased fact checkers. He did say it was a win for Trump, but I mean, now he's saying all Republicans lie. So I don't know.
That's quite an admission right there. That is quite an admission right there. Because basically what he's saying is, so long as you have fact checkers, it's always going to appear like they have a liberal bias, because it just happens to be the case that conservatives and Republicans lie way, way, way more. So it's going to look like, oh, you're unfairly cracking down on one side. What if it's just the case that one side lies way, 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 way more?
It is the case. It's just that despite the fact that you've been lying, you've had the institutional power behind you. So now you think that your lies are correct.
So in other words, he doesn't like the outcome of having fact checkers. So he's like,
right, because they weren't properly checking the facts. That's the whole point, that they were wrong. It just, again, worked in Kyle's favor. So he's like, okay, yeah, just fact check. You don't actually want the facts checked. You just want people to say what you want to say.
So in other words, he doesn't like the outcome of having fact checkers. So he's like, hey, Trump won the election. I'm trying to stay on his good side. We're going to get rid of fact checkers. And also we're going to embrace free speech, because this is the era of free speech.
Why the finger quotes? Like, yeah, exactly. TV said, according to Kyle, Republicans lie so much they can't tell the truth, and it's still a lie. Kyle Kulinski, ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Kulinski.
More on that in a minute, because nobody, and I mean nobody, has been more hostile to freedom of speech than Donald Trump and the Republicans.
Come on, man.
Really? Let's see you back that up with anything.
Nobody. So that's the part of this that's.
Oh no, just saying things. No, actually, you guys are the liars. Trust me. Jen said, I hate when they do the quotes, even if something is right. Yeah, it's supposed to be when you're sarcastic or something like that. But when you're talking about free speech, when you do that, it seems like you don't think that free speech is either real or should be a value that we have. Weird.
Speech than Donald Trump and the Republicans. Nobody. So that's the part of this that sticks in my craw that it drives me crazy. This idea.
Not one example, Kyle. Not one example
of like, bro, we're going to embrace more free speech because Trump is like more free speech and stuff, bro.
Correct. That is correct.
Oh my God. I'm going to shove my nipples in a meat grinder. What are you?
What?
Why? I need a second. Jesus. Shout out to Carl's Frosted Tips. Welcome to the parties. This guy moans when he wipes his ass. Oh, man. Welcome. King. So McCall started saying that he was hand-holding Rogan through politics. It rubbed me the wrong way. But also haven't seen much of his content. Well, the frustrating thing about that is, of course, most people found Kyle from Rogan. And his complaint was that, I'd be in there and I'd be saying this and that, and Rogan would nod along. And then the next episode, he'd bring in somebody like Ben Shapiro and he'd be nodding along with them too. Yep. And that's a good thing. That means that people are open and willing. We forget that pre-COVID, nobody thought the Joe Rogan Experience was a political show. And I put in the quotes because a political show. It was a conversational show about whatever Joe Rogan wants to talk about. Monkeys and space and drugs and all of that kind of stuff. And you knew that, Kyle. But it became convenient to now throw him under the bus. So whatevs. Carl said 12 more days, guys. Jaden said, first of all, why the hell nipples? That's the dumbest fucking way. Ew, that just grossed me out. Your meat is not made of nipples, buddy. I mean, maybe it is for him. Who knows? Who knows what these libs be eating? Who knows? Hey, shout out to Carl's Frosted Tips. Said 12 more days, guys. Less than 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks. And of course, another treat for Morty. And thank you, Carl, for bringing us to 1/5. We are 1/5 of the way there with our swole goal. Thank you, sir. Very much appreciated. I was like, should I back it up and hear the nipples and the meat grinder thing again?
And stuff, bro. Oh my god. I'm gonna shove my nipples in a meat grinder. What are you talking about? He's the most censorious man on the planet. All right, let's keep going.
Right. See, that's the whole point here. That's the whole point. I agree. He's the most censorious man on the planet, and now that's changing. So he's talking to us about that. What is the confusion? You've already established that you don't think he's being legitimate. Fine. I don't necessarily think so either. But I don't understand where the confusion is coming from. King of Honor said it shows he's kind of unloyal or something like that. No one is down with that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Yep. Jane said, I can't wait. 12 days. Fight. Dilly to that. Meat nipples, Kyle Kowinski. Nipple soup? Oof. Yeah, definitely a dilly. 12 more days, guys. But hey, a lot can happen in 12 days. So let's just hope that, the inauguration is on the 20th. So let's just hope everything goes to plan. It's been really quiet since the election, and I'm a little freaked out about it, but fingers crossed, guys. When you cross your fingers, do you go middle finger over your index finger, or do you index finger over your middle finger? I mean, I could do it either way, but which one do you do?
Are you talking about? He's the most censorious man on the planet. All right, let's keep going.
So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to
shout out to Leslie McDowell in the building. Welcome. To Millennial Trotsky, Kyle Kowinski. Yep. So sad. I mean, I genuinely used to really like Kyle. I really did. And the fact that his page is called Secular Talk, that really opened or appealed to me. And it's just so sad. So sad how far downhill he's gone. Jaden said Trump is going to fix everything and I can actually afford groceries. Hopefully. But let's not count our chickens before they hatch, guys. Just because Trump is in office doesn't mean all of our problems are going to go away. We still have a lot of work to do. But, obviously the biggest thing was getting him in office first. So you're switching. Jason Harris can just shut her dirty ass mouth like she's a loser. For real. Yep, she indeed is an official loser. And she had to announce it to the world. She had to announce her own defeat to the world. Put one in the chat if you do not see the clip where Mike Johnson's laughing at her doing that. TV Viewerski said, I predict for Kyle's next trick, he will gain weight. I could see that. Yep. Usually going middle over. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this looks better, but this feels more natural. I don't know. But yeah, so we've all seen the video of Kamala Harris having to announce her own loss.
we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse.
Which, by the way, so you crack down.
But he is right about that, Kyle, right? Can we acknowledge that?
And gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse.
They're just out of touch. People don't want the rules that were in place before.
Which, by the way, so you crack down on those topics to begin with. I know on Threads, they really either don't allow political talk or really deprioritize it. It takes you till now to realize, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't put our thumb on the scale and completely eliminate entire swaths of conversations. But no.
Agreed. But he's saying that now, and I agree that it's too late. But it doesn't seem like you're happy about the fact that free speech is going to be more prevalent. Makes it seem like that if there's free speech, you can't win. You can't win any arguments. Jane said I was laughing the whole time when she messed the pledge. Let's watch it. It's once in a lifetime. The first woman to ever have to announce her own defeat. No, Kamala Harris, not concession. What is it? The concession speech? No. What am I calling it? The I don't know, just put Jane safe. Yeah. ABC is very copyright heavy. Oh, god damn, I don't know what the whole thing. Hold up.
Tomorrow is a big day in American history. A new Congress, now led by Republicans, will certify.
All right, screw it. We're going with ABC. If they claim me, then they claim me. 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Members of Congress, the certificates having been read, the tellers will ascertain and deliver the result.
Look at Mike Johnson's face the entire time. That is, the cherry on top. The fact that this is even happening. The fact that the first Black, Jamaican, Indian, whatever woman has to announce this is just dessert in and of itself. But the cherry on top is Mike Johnson. Shout out to Guam Tech. Welcome to the party. Saying about the poll, did Zuckerberg have a change of heart or just going with the trend? And Guam Tech said Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu changes a man. Well, he has been working, he did bring on Dana White to work with him. So maybe that's what Dave Smith was saying on his podcast, that maybe he's just got more testosterone. Very, very possible. Welcome to the party, brother.
To the President of the Senate.
The undersigned, Deb Fisher and Amy Klobuchar, tellers on the part of the Senate, and Brian Steele and Joseph Morelle, tellers on the part of the House of Representatives, report the following as the result of the ascertainment and counting of the electoral vote for President and Vice President of the United States for the term beginning on the 20th day of January, 2025.
Hell yeah.
State of the vote for the President of the United States as delivered to the President of the Senate is as follows. The whole number of the electors appointed to vote for President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, the majority is 270. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris
Well, we got some disagreement. Not a fan of BJJ, Carl. And of course, I love when they know that they're on camera. So anybody who is Republican, you've got to stand up when they say anything about Trump, and you got to be silent when if you're a Democrat. Silent. No one's moving, and they're on their feet. If that doesn't exemplify how all of politics is theater, I don't know what else to tell you.
Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
Oh, and they're going to stand up and clap. They're going to stand up and clap for the loser. Oh, man. Let's take a breath and get ready for
Kamala
it.
D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
Yes! Yes! We lost! We lost! This is good. This is good.
The whole number of electors appointed to vote for Vice President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, a majority is 270. The votes for Vice President of the United States are as follows. J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio has received 312 votes.
Standing from Mike. Yeah, man. I finally built up the whatever it is to actually go out and sign up and actually do it. And this was right before COVID. So it's everything. I was there for like a month maybe, and then it shut down. And I moved, the school closed down, all that kind of stuff. And I also need to get back into it. Well, but I mean, if you only took it for a year, how much do you know about how much it could change you? I mean, I feel like you might need a couple years into it before you are making that distinction. I think, Nick, you got him. Just not a fan of Zuck. Yup. Like I said, I just got training, so got done training or something. So obviously I'm gonna be biased, but I mean, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right, and so do other people. And he's got more testosterone.
Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota has received 226 votes.
Exactly. The hardest part is going. And I finally, I was like, let's do this. And then everything came crashing down.
This announcement.
Look at him. Look at him.
This announcement.
Oh, Mikey.
Of the state of the vote by the President of the Senate shall be deemed a sufficient declaration of the persons elected, President and Vice President of the United States, each for a term beginning on the 20th day of January, 2025.
12
and shall be
days,
entered
baby.
together with the list of the votes on the journals of the House and the Senate. Thank you very much.
Just beautiful. I mean, a historic moment for a black woman. Gonzaga said, everyone thinks the black belt is the hardest to get. It's actually your white belt. You're stepping on the mat. You put you in a different league than the majority of the population. Interesting. I would assume from only having, a handful of classes that, like, yeah, it takes a lot to get in there and get on the mat. But I feel like that's a little easier than going from white to blue. But, I'm coming from ignorance. So, all right, I'm back in with Kyle here.
Put our thumb on the scale and completely eliminate entire swaths of conversations. But notice the exact issues he picked to bring up. What was it? Immigration and gender? That's literally just a wink and a nod to the right. Like, yeah, be as transphobic as you want and shit on immigrants as much as you want.
That's what free speech is, Kyle. That's what free speech is. You used to be a liberal person. Now you want to clamp down speech? Why?
Restrictions on topics like immigration and gender.
Yeah, immigration and gender. That's basically like, hey, right-wingers, be as psycho as you want to be on our platform, and it's all hunky-dory.
And I don't even necessarily disagree, but the that it's kind of a dog whistle in that way. But like, Kyle, you have to. You're saying the quiet part out loud. You're saying the quiet part out loud that you don't want people who disagree with you to be able to have free speech. It's that simple. This fucking cook.
Trump won the election. We're not trying to fight this shit at all. We're hopping on the bandwagon. We're right there with you. Again, this really...
Yeah, Kyle, you're fringe. Your ideas are fringe. We're all the normal ones.
This really proves that Trump winning this last election by 1.5 percentage points, which is ultimately not much at all.
Cope harder, bro.
Everybody's...
He took the pop. When's the last time a Republican won the popular vote? Reagan?
Reaction to that, you're seeing either full capitulation from many, like Mark Zuckerberg, or semi-capitulation from many. And so people are just giving up and going, well, I guess this is the Trump era. And they're...
So wait. Kyle, do you think that before all of this, everybody was like, oh yeah, we definitely are loving trans and the kids? Are you under the impression that they weren't doing the exact same thing for the last 4 years? Because that's exactly what they're doing. And as you said in the beginning, he's just bending the knee. I don't understand where your issue. Like, what is your bottom line here? What are you trying to say? Carl said, I don't know a lot, but I know more than someone who never trained. Yep, that is a that could save your life, man. That could save your life. Hey, shout out to Nick Luchetti. Another $2. No question, no comment. Just pure love of the puppy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So very, very much, sir. Much appreciated.
From many. And so people are just giving up and going, well, I guess this is the Trump era. And they're assuming he's actually more popular than he is and that he's more correct about stuff than he is. And so everybody's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm tired. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm just gonna go along to get along.
I mean, I could understand if you're saying that Trump is right about things that Trump thinks he's right about things that he's not right about. That's a reasonable position. But what is the other thing he said?
He's actually more popular than he is.
He what do you mean? He looked at the numbers and said, I'm this popular.
And that he's more correct about stuff than he is. And so everybody's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm tired. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm just gonna go along to get along. That's what you're witnessing here. That's what you're witnessing here.
Okay, but exactly, Kyle. So why do you think that he wasn't doing exactly the same thing for the Biden administration?
That are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far.
So real quick, guys, we got 5 minutes left on the goal. What we're gonna do from here on out is we're gonna try to do the main goal, and then if we don't meet that, then we're gonna change it up. And so I don't want to show him, but there is an extra treat here for Morty. So if we don't hit this goal, we're gonna make another goal, and we'll add to it. Thank you so much. Did I miss it?
I'm just gonna go along to get along. That's what you're witnessing here.
Good call. Rejection. Terrible.
That's what you're witnessing here.
That are just out of touch with mainstream discourse.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but we should at least try not to do that.
Started as a movement to be more inclusive, has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms.
Yeah, conservatives dominate the media online, yet they somehow cry victim.
Yeah, why do you think that is, Kyle? Because you guys dominate the mainstream legacy media.
And play victim, and here you have Mark Zuckerberg feeding into that narrative. Like, yeah, you guys are the victim.
We're changing how we enforce.
We were. I mean, we're not sitting here crying like, oh my God, I couldn't post on Facebook. But like that's victimization, dude. That's what it is. Shout out to Gary Grant. Welcome to the party, sir. Very, very good to see ya.
Zuckerberg feeding into that narrative. Like, yeah, you guys are the victim.
We're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high severity violations.
Which is all you should ever care about.
And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action.
Which is how it always should have been.
The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content that they shouldn't. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms.
Oh no, I want more censorship, says Kyle.
We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down.
And
so notice again, I have to point this out again. Notice how the fact or the issue that Kyle has is not that there is or is not free speech. He was happy to have all of us, not able to speak. Full stop. He was just happy with that. That's his position.
I should point out, Facebook, like last week, announced they're like rolling out AI pages, and they're going to just pretend like they're real, and you can engage with totally fake accounts. And this idea got so much backlash so quickly, basically like capitulating to the idea that Facebook is just nothing but AI slop now across the board.
Yeah, and then everybody didn't like it, and then it basically got community noted. See how that works?
Right? You've seen those pictures of some some woman saying, "Find me husband," and it's like she's got legs that go straight into her head, and you're sitting there like, what the fuck is this? It's because so much of this stuff on Facebook is just
It's the PJJ, bro.
Completely AI generated. And he announced it as if it was a good thing. Like, yeah, we're going to allow more AI content. And it's like, there's going to be no actual human beings on your fucking website anymore.
I agree with that, but that's, again, why you rolled it back.
So I point that out to tell you, this is the man this is this guy's judgment, right? He thought it was a good idea to just like proudly announce we're going to allow more AI stuff on Facebook. And it's like, everybody wants the opposite of that.
True.
And so here he is bending the knee and caving and cucking himself to the right over and over and over.
Which is only bad because I'm not on the right. I would rather he cucks to the left.
Fourth, we're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed. So we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now. And we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again.
Well, not only that, but the fact of the matter is that politics is so much more ingrained in our lives than it was in, when Facebook started, or even right before Trump. There used to be politics and then other stuff. Now everything is politics. So if you don't allow politics, you don't allow conversation. Whether that's a good or bad thing that everything is politicized, I don't think it's I don't think it's good either. But it is what it is. So we did miss our first goal. So I'm going to set up another one. So we do and we'll add the treat. So same number of push-ups, but Morty gets, let's see. I don't want to show it to him. I got it at the liquor store. So our new goal is going to get Morty one of these and the 20 push-ups. Thank you so very much, guys.
But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas.
I mean, what else is there to say, right? If you were unsure what he was doing up until this point, I can understand it, right? But at this point right here, this is like everybody and their mother's got to understand what's going on.
True. But again, you had no problem when it was working in your favor. You just have a problem when it works against you. And that makes you a hypocrite.
This is him saying, he's literally just trying to say, I'll be like Elon. I'll be a right winger. I'll leave California and go to Texas. Will that make you guys trust us more? That's what he's doing. Oh, we're going to do content review in Texas, not California. Because, in Texas, their sensibilities are more normal. Like, that's the idea that he's going for here. This is brazen, man. This is like complete and utter capitulation in a way that's so embarrassing. Such like a rank business.
So it's so confusing how like you kind of are right. Like TV was saying, he's kind of right, but you're so wrong in other ways that you don't even realize that you're again saying the quiet part out loud. So again, guys, we do have a new goal up there. Check it out and hit it up. Thank you so very much. Let's see if there's anything else we need from Kyle.
Isn't this decision here?
As we work to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams. Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more. The U.S. has the strongest...
What is that? What is that reaction? Hold on, let's get rid of this banner. Why is he... Zuckerberg's like, we're going to make sure that people aren't basically fucking with American politics. And this is his reaction.
The world, they're going after American companies and pushing to censor more. The U.S. has the strongest constitution.
Why would you want that? Why would you want that? I thought Russiagate was bad, but now we want foreign influence.
Protections for free expression in the world. Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there. Latin American countries have secret courts that can order companies to quietly take things down. China has censored our apps from even working in the country.
Nick said, believing in free speech doesn't mean saying anything you want. It means listening to anybody else say something you don't like, but you still let them speak. Bingo. Exactly right. And yeah, man, shout out to anybody dealing with the fires out in California. That shit is wild. Let's give a dilly to anybody. I mean, even the rich people. I know it's some rich people, but as shitty as they might be, as terrible as their opinions might be, we want them to be safe, right? Dilly dilly. Shout out to Matthew King. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you. So thanks for the stickers and the handwritten note. That was a nice surprise. Appreciate the effort. My pleasure, brother. My pleasure. My gift to you for being here and supporting the channel. And so, yeah, if you guys want to send me an email, TheIndianJesusOfficial@gmail.com, I will send you some free stickers and maybe something else. And oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Welcome to the party.
Order companies to quietly take things down. China has censored our apps from even working in the country. The only way that we can push back on this global trend.
By the way, notice he didn't even mention Israel, who's like number one when it comes to censorship. Not even a mention of Israel.
He's not Israel. It's not about what Israel is doing. It's about what other countries are doing to America. I don't think you get it, Kyle. But like I said, I find it so interesting that implementing lefty ideas was done in the shadows, but you can be completely transparent and announce it to the world when you switch over to more conservative ideals. It's almost like there's a moral equivalency. It's almost like one of them is bad and one of them is good. Well, hey, yo, keep that. That's between us, man. Shout out to Bill Bradley. Welcome to the party. So Israel's a tiny market. He mentioned the EU, all of South America, and China. Those are all huge markets. Why would he mention Israel? It's a tiny market. Well, because lefty brain is Israel the only thing that matters now. It's so easy to see through who these people are. You would think that if you had these types of ideas, if you had these types of perceptions, that you would at least try to package it in a way that isn't terrible like this.
Is with the support of the US government. And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the US government has pushed for censorship. By going after us and other American companies, it has emboldened other governments to go even further. But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I am excited to take it.
Trump asked various social media outlets to pull down posts he didn't like. He's trying to frame it like it was just Biden and the Democrats who did it. Trump did it. Wait,
Didn't say that at all.
I'm going to lose it in just a second.
It'll take
you already lost it, buddy.
Time to get this right. And these are complex systems. They're never going to be perfect. There's also a lot of illegal stuff that we still need to work very hard to remove. But the bottom line,
like trans and kids,
is that after years of having our content moderation work focused primarily on removing content, it is time to focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our systems, and getting back to our roots about giving people voice. I'm looking forward to this next chapter. Stay good out there, and more to come soon.
So at the end there, he's like,
and again, I mean, I unlike Kyle, will say, yes, this is good for me. And so I like that it is good for me, even if it is not necessarily the best thing, but it happens to be that it is the right thing. So not only is it good for me, it is the right thing. For Kyle, it doesn't matter that it's the right thing because it's not good for him.
We're going to work with Trump to restore freedom of speech around the world.
How dare you work with a president to restore free speech? I mean, it just doesn't get any lower than that.
In fact, here you have a Facebook executive. He went on Fox News and fawned over Trump's commitment to free expression while also virtue signaling about the end of fact checking. Because, fact checking never works out well for Trump.
Yeah, because they lie. Like, it's not. Exactly. That's exactly the point. It doesn't work out for Trump because Trump is telling the truth and they lie about him. That's the whole thing, Kyle.
Yeah, we're getting rid of fact checking. We think that's a great idea. We think that's a wonderful idea. And Trump is so committed to freedom of expression, and we love him for it, sir. We love that Trump is committed to freedom of expression. Okay, this is the guy who just sued Ann Selzer for a poll that he didn't like. Trump sued CBS for how it edited a Kamala interview.
What does that have to do with anything? What does it have to do with anything? You are just grasping at straws, and it is not going well. Let's let him spin out, crash out, as the kids say. Let's let him continue crashing out.
He sued Simon & Schuster, the book company, for a Bob Woodward book because it quoted him directly, and he didn't like the quotes. Trump threatened to de-license news outlets that criticize him. He wants to punish flag burning with a year in jail. He sued CNN for $475 million for calling election denialism the big lie.
Therefore, in Kyle's mind, we should not have free speech.
He sued Bill Maher for $5 million over a joke. He says he supports
That was funny.
opening up the libel laws to crack down on speech. He called for jailing journalists.
Well, again, why do you think that is? Because even the fact checkers were lying. It's all right there, man. It's all right there.
Who reported on the Supreme Court abortion ruling. He says he wants to deport pro-Palestine protesters. He gag ordered the EPA from telling the truth on climate change. He charged 6 journalists with felony rioting. Like, he said he wants to terminate the Constitution to get himself back in power.
This is the new find people on both sides. This is the new find people on both sides.
He wanted to invoke the Insurrection Act to go after George Floyd protesters. He wanted to shoot them in the leg. And here we have Mark Zuckerberg pretending. And
next, I think Kyle's butt plug went in too deep and got stuck. Probably.
Virtue signaling.
The fact that he gets to fuck a crystal ball is just, I mean, cooked.
They go, oh, yes, we're going to work with Trump because Trump is so pro-free speech. He's so pro-free expression, bro. And we are too, bro. We're all about free speech. We're all about free expression.
That sounds like, I mean, we don't really need anything else here, but hey, he's going off.
What we're doing here. If you were pro-free speech and you were pro-free expression, you never would coddle Trump's nuts like this. Never in a million years. Because he's the most authoritarian of everybody.
Okay, but we're not talking about Trump. We're talking about Trump supporters. Even if you could justify saying that Trump himself shouldn't be allowed to speak for whatever reason, for you to say that this is bad because now the American people who overwhelmingly decided that they would prefer Trump, at least over Kamala, that they shouldn't be allowed to speak for reasons.
By the way, I'm not done. Look at this guy.
He ain't done. All right.
So here's what Brian Stelter says. This is important context to that thing that you just saw of what's his face? Mark Zuckerberg. Meta is facing an
from Brian Stelter. Brian Stelter's who he's quoting.
Antitrust trial in April. The company has lots of other business before the U.S. government, and Trump once threatened to send Zuckerberg to prison, quote, for the rest of his life. That's just some of the background for today's big Meta announcements.
I would love to hear the context around that because I'm sure it was dead serious, right?
Today's changes almost seemed to be addressed directly to Trump. Oh, you don't say. Especially since Meta gave the exclusive to Fox and Friends, one of his favorite shows. Joel Kaplan was on the show and fully agreed with Fox's censorship versus freedom framing.
Cry harder.
So that really puts into perspective what's going on here. He's simply trying to protect his own ass, Zuckerberg is.
You mean exactly the way he was before this happened and you had no issues with it.
And he's scared. He wants the antitrust trial to come to an end. Okay, so how do you do that? Snuggle up to Trump. Trump's a friend of big business. So if you snuggle up to Trump, give him some money, tickle his nuts a little bit, he'll be like, okay, we'll drop that, right? He's got other business before the U.S.
Bro, he's still going. He's still going. Shout out to Indy Man. Welcome to the party. Oh, yes, Trump has got his secret police together to go after Zuckerberg. Like, just pulling shit out your ass and saying things. That's it. Welcome to the party. Let's finish up with this crash out and move on to more serious discussion about Facebook.
Government, he wants those contracts to keep coming. And he doesn't want to be sent to prison, quote, for the rest of his life. And so that's why he's doing what he's doing. This is so brazen. So
I was going to Midas Touch. All I know about Midas Touch is I've seen them in what's that Define Else. That's the only context I've seen Midas Touch. Bill Bradley. So the left is so mad they're losing their social media censorship regimes. First, they lost Twitter. Now they're losing Facebook. They just keep losing. That's what losers do. Because again, notice we were in that same position for the last really 8 years. It just, we had a little bit more power when Trump was actually there, but the media was even stronger against him. So we've essentially been in that position for the last 9 years, really. And, we had issues with it. Like, oh, you're a fucking snowflake. You consider this, you think that, you just get it. And then the second it turns, it's like, oh no, how can this be happening? This is the end of the world.
Loser.
Pathetic.
So this post really puts it into context for everybody. Zuckerberg removed fact-checking and added Dana White to the Meta board. Dana White. MAGA loser idiot Dana White.
MAGA loser idiot. Based on what? Based on what? Name one thing that Dana White has done that was not smart other than power slap. I'll give you power slap. But, I mean, people love it.
Bezos is paying Melania Trump $40 million for a documentary on Amazon. Again, this is...
How much do they spend on the Obama one? You didn't even mention Israel. You didn't even mention the Obamas.
Pay to play. This is buying influence. This is, hey, we're cool, right, Don? That's what this is. Kevin O'Leary is trying to buy TikTok. ABC.
Yo, I did not know that. I did not know that. Kevin O'Leary, buy TikTok, my guy. Let's go. It's a win-win for me, though, because if TikTok gets banned, everybody's flooding over to YouTube, and that's true. I get the viewership. But I love TikTok that much.
ABC paid Trump $15 million to settle a frivolous lawsuit. Elon Musk bought Twitter and turned it into a right-wing propaganda machine.
And again, you're showing that, by having free speech, it's automatically right-wing. So then what you're saying is reality is right-wing in your estimation. I mean, come on. Listen, when the right was being censored on social media, they started their own media ecosystem. It became so powerful, the Dems now cry they don't have an equally large media ecosystem like the mainstream media. Like the mainstream media does not exist and lean largely left. And so, I mean, what are you doing, Mark? I do understand that, like, Kyle, somebody like Kyle is going to dislike the mainstream media, to whatever you put in that category. He's going to feel the same way about that. I mean, he is reading from Brian Stelter right now, but in general, he's fuck the mainstream media. But exactly as you're saying, that they were on their side. And so they're talking about, we need a Joe Rogan. You had one. It was Joe Rogan. We need an Elon Musk. You had one. It's Elon Musk. We need a Tulsi Gabbard. You had one. We need an RFK. It's almost like nobody likes you guys. Nick said there were 2 times in California with the state government didn't expect the results of a proposition. Both passed 75% in favor. That was Prop 187, legalizing medicinal marijuana. The only good thing California has done in the last 30 years. Who knows? Shout out to Bonzig. Welcome. Said Jimmy Dore exposed who funded Crystal Ball. They are still a part of the establishment. Well, yeah, I mean, she is. I would say that I wouldn't, as much as I dislike Kyle, I wouldn't put him as part of the establishment. I would put him, not Crystal, but I would put him in, like, just on the side of the establishment. But Crystal was working for The Hill. They broke off, and her and Sagar made their own show. But according to Bonzig here, they're basically neocons. And yeah, I mean that's as good as they can get. That's as good as they can get. Because they won't uphold the election results. They went against this. Not quite. Yeah, Garrett said to Bradley, 100. Plus, they still have the majority of power in academia and other cultural areas. Bingo. That is a big one. That's really big. And so that's exactly why when we can't just sit back and be like, all right, Trump won, we're good now. We can't do that. The work has only just begun. That's a huge piece of the puzzle. But there is work to be done. They said Crystal Ball ran a PAC that ended in controversy. Many think she was just pocketing a lot of the money. Most of her wealth comes from one of her multiple divorces, largely, though. Kyle, you might be next, buddy. You might be next. Yeah, Bonzig, also another person that I used to like Kyle also to unhinge now. Sad. Nick said Prop 187 had to do with illegal immigration and that one day absolutely strapped down. They did not follow our wishes. Crazy, right? I mean, it should be, but it's kind of run of the mill these days, isn't it?
A MAGA media takeover is in full swing.
You're goddamn right. Hell yeah. Let's hear him say it one more time.
And a machine. The MAGA media takeover is in full swing. And that's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's what we're witnessing here. It's never been more obvious. It's never been more pathetic. From the Washington Post to the LA Times.
Wait. Yeah, I agree. It's never been more obvious. What's pathetic about it? So you can't just say things without backing them up. What's pathetic about it? I'm here. I'm willing to listen. You're just not saying anything.
Been more obvious. It's never been more pathetic. From the Washington Post to the LA Times to CNN and they're both sidesism and MSNBC and they're both sidesism to this stuff from Mark Zuckerberg. This is
you mean not just treating anybody who doesn't agree with them as a horrible person, and you're mad about that? Okay.
Disgusting. People are acting like Trump won in a Reagan-style landslide or an FDR-style landslide.
He did. If you take the, I don't even know the numbers, but I'm willing to bet money that if you look at the percentages of people who voted, that it is going to be very, very similar in Reagan and Trump. It's just the fact that, especially with social media, everything now is, again, everything is politicized. So a lot more people are into this stuff. And a lot more people, like yourself, are misinformed. Bill said he wants neutral sites to stay biased, and they got so used to their biased sites that they see these outlets going back to neutral as being MAGA. Bingo. Yep. They've had the privilege for so long that they don't understand that that's not the neutral spot.
Cope. He didn't. He eked out a victory barely.
Bro, eked out a victory.
Come on, man.
Right? And so why everybody is being this dense is far beyond me. They're acting like there's no market for truth tellers who will be honest and who will hold Trump and MAGA accountable.
I will.
There's a massive market for that, but everybody's running away from that. In the same way that the media in this country ran away from voices critical of the Iraq War during the lead up to the Iraq War and at the beginning of the Iraq War. The media didn't want to hear anything against the Iraq War at the time. You're seeing a very similar thing here. Everybody either fully capitulate to MAGA or semi-capitulate to MAGA because they think that's the only way for them to survive. No, you're shooting.
Yes, correct. The only way to survive is to not be completely against all of the normal social norms that people want. You think that you're saying something strong, and you're just not. Yeah, 312 electoral college votes is a huge win. We don't elect presidents by popular votes, no matter how much the leftist wants us to do it. But even if we did, we would still have won. So you're literally just crying. You're just crying. So actually, I am gonna switch this. No, I want this one. All right, so this is a clip from last night's Timcast where they were discussing the same thing. So before, Tim was kind of giving a bit more of an overview of, like what was going on. And remember, the fact checkers did this and that and that and that. But now this is from the actual discussion where they were on the podcast. And yeah, on Sigmund, you was predicting a heavy Kamala victory. How'd that go, bro? And clearly, you've got your finger on the pulse, right? Nah.
From CNN. Ladies and gentlemen, Meta is getting rid of fact checkers. Zuckerberg acknowledged more harmful content will appear on the platforms now. I love how CNN frames this. Censorship is over. Zuckerberg basically comes out and says, we
harmful
give
to
up.
who?
Yeah, harmful to who indeed. But I love
to people like Kyle.
Using CNN as a source because of the way they frame things, and we can rip this apart. We do have the video, however, from Zuckerberg himself, where he this is a quick clip. Here we go.
We're going to get back to our roots.
I'm just going to play it again since, in case somebody wasn't here.
Focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies,
Look at that glow
and
up.
restoring free expression.
Look at that glow up.
More specifically, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes, similar to X, starting in the US.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just tell all of you first and foremost, you know it. Mark Zuckerberg is a fair weather friend. When Trump was the enemy and the media was screaming,
she always did. They were always the female presidential candidates that were going to lose. Zuckerberg looking like a SoundCloud rapper. Zuckerberg. There you go. Let's go back to Bill. Said they forgot about the hierarchy of needs. They have food, shelter, and safety under control, so they have the privilege to have abortion as their top issue. But some people's more basic needs are not met, so they don't care about higher order concepts like abortion. They forgot about the actual working class. The party of the working class forgot about the working class. It's the economy, stupid. Meat and potatoes, dinner table, it's all of that stuff. It's always been that way. It likely always will be that way. You can cry about it, or you can understand it and work within that framework. We see what Kyle's chosen to do.
Is a fair weather friend. When Trump was the enemy and the media was screaming, Facebook just said, we will do whatever you say. When Trump wins, he comes out and says, okay, I guess free speech. I don't trust the guy at all, but I'll take the win when I can get it. So right now.
Yep. Shout out to Funk Master General. Welcome to the party. Very, very good to see you with the $2. No question, no comment, just pure love of the game. And that starts us off on our second goal, guys. We did not meet the last one, so this one is only 10. We only 10, but that is the first. Thank you so much. And we saw, hey, we did it without Funk. Funk, we love you. But we did it without you last time. We hit that goal. Welcome to the party, sir. God said his SoundCloud EP would be can do dig it. What? I'll take your word for that one. Thank you again, Funky Fresh. Welcome to the party.
I guess free speech. I don't trust the guy at all, but I'll take the win when I can get it. So right now, as I've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks, we're a podcast. We negotiate with different ad networks. They do sales and things like this. And, whenever I'm negotiating, I'm like, oh, and by the way, don't forget we have Facebook. Facebook is a platform where we get X amount of views and all that stuff, and we're not really monetizing there. We don't post ads. Every company we talk to says Facebook is dead. They're like, nobody's making money on Facebook anymore. I mean, it's a little bit, but it's just pointless. Mark Zuckerberg burned the biggest social media platform to the ground.
Like I was saying before, I loved Facebook when it was what it used to be, because again, social media, when, as a millennial, we had the perfect social media when it was between, later MySpace and early Facebook. That was the best that social media ever was, because nowadays, social media is a replacement for real life and interaction with real people. Back then, again, like I said, you whether it's MySpace or Facebook, you were friends with people that you knew in real life for the most part. And so social media was an extension of real life, or it was a way to enhance real life, where you'd put out a post and be like, hey, do you guys want to party or whatever? I'm trying to start a band, and whatever it is. And now it's just replaced. So that's why I think, even though it's a good thing that he is saying this, whether he's doing it to save his own ass or because he really thinks that he's changed, either way, it's just too late, because all those people who I knew in real life, they're gone now. They're gone. Bill Bradley said corporations want to make money. They don't care about left or right-wing ideology per se in general. Zuck just sees the winds of change and wants to maximize profits. Yep. Moving moderation to Texas will cost him less. It's not about bias. Bingo. Exactly. Can you dig it, Zucker? I like that. I'll give that a dilly dilly. Yup. Conveniently, the year that I graduated college. And I've heard from multiple different people who are in academia that there was a noticeable shift between 2012 and 2013. That there was a gradual uptick of wokeness and whatever. But, 2012, it was, 2010, 2011, 2012, and then 2013, there was a bump. And then, of course, we've gone haywire since then. But I don't know. But as class of 2012, I'm glad that I am from the before time. All right, I'm back in.
Zuckerberg burned the biggest social media platform to the ground. The most important thing he said in that whole speech he gave was that he didn't say it directly, but he said it. The U.S. government targeted Facebook and forced them to do these things. But I want to make sure I stress this point. Mark Zuckerberg is a very weak man. Okay, I'm not trying to rag on you, Mark. Okay, I'm not trying to be a dick, but let me just tell you, I respect the doing the BJJ training. I respect trying to get into shape. I respect you doing the right thing right now, but I don't.
But you're still a loser.
Trust you because when
I said shit, me too. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I don't trust him. I'm not like, oh, good, Facebook's going to be great now.
I respect trying to get into shape. I respect you doing the right thing right now, but I don't trust you because when Elon Musk joined the fray during a major cycle where Trump, and he brought a bunch of people back, not perfect, what he was doing on X, but he did pull back some of the censorship. The SEC and the FTC went after his companies.
Yep.
They tried to destroy him. A judge suspended his pay package. We, the shareholders of Tesla, then voted to reinstate it, and they still blocked his pay package. He took great and tremendous risks because he wanted this, whatever you think his reasoning was, and Zuckerberg bent the knee until it was all safe and all clear.
Yeah, and I think, I think that Zuckerberg probably, some people say, no, it was intentional, Zuckbucks, all this stuff on the left. I think he got played. He went in, he thought, I'm doing the right thing. I mean, if you look at the narrative of kind of the American electorate, I think it follows Zuck, right?
I gotta hear that out. But Bonzix and X is all becoming a little bit sus now. So a good move for Facebook. Elon started with that social credit score also. I didn't hear about that. But I definitely, as much as I do really appreciate the free speech aspect of X instead of the old Twitter, I mean, the monetization has really screwed with the ecosystem. There's too many people who are just engagement baiting, and I don't love it. But I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, I'm just going to turn my replies to verified only. And I think that's a good way to go. I think it is worth, if you're somebody, I mean, in my position, because I have the logo as my profile picture, then it could be seen as, just another bot account. And so by having the blue check, it helps that if I'm going to, DM somebody that, hey, would you like to come on the show? They see that, okay, you're at least willing to put the $8 down to show that you're legit. And so I like that part. And I do like the option that you can do that. But it definitely has led to a lot of people just saying things to make sure that they get a lot of replies. And I don't love it. But that's a part of social media. And TikTok is not that bad with it. All right. I got to hear this one again.
He got played. I think he got played. He went in, he thought, I'm doing the right thing. I mean, if you look at the narrative of kind of the American electorate, I think it follows Zuck, right? The average experience of these institutions can't be bad. Of course, we all need to get a jab. These are health officials telling us to do this, right? Oh, we need to back it up and we need to stop misinformation. We have to stop the disinformation. And then I think it got to a point where he realized, man, they used me, right? They used me. And now he's got to survive politically. He's got to be able to push back and try to save his company. So I don't feel bad for him, but I would say that I don't think it's all intentional. I think he's just reacting and probably realizing that they manipulated him.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about the idea that he just didn't realize what was going on because it was bit by bit. It was small things.
He trusted the government.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Never trust the government.
And I mean, he was a Democrat beforehand anyways. He said that he was libertarian, but we're talked like that, but
don't tarnish our brand.
WeChat, that's the essentially the same thing, but the Chinese version, right? Yeah. But I mean, I would prefer there being too much bullshit than everybody getting banned. And when you have a network that large, it's one or the other. It's not going to be perfect.
He said that he was a libertarian, but we're talked like that, but
don't tarnish our brand.
Listen, there is nobody better at tarnishing the libertarian brand than libertarian.
Right.
So
true.
I'm going to stand like this as I respond and say, dude, he didn't get tricked. He's just like, this is the path of least resistance. Also, the reason I'm standing is that my right thigh has cramped, completely locking up. I ran. What was it? What's today? Tuesday. I ran on Sunday, Monday, and then I skated today, and now my right thigh is just completely locked up. I can't
do the jogging thing.
Yeah, I was jogging. Yeah.
I hate it.
Yep. And now went
Is it
skating today.
jogging?
And, can't
jogging or yogging? It might be a soft J.
sit down anymore. But yeah, come on. Elon Musk bought himself into this conflict. They tried to block the sale in the first place, attacked him in every direction. And Zuckerberg has always just taken the path of least resistance. I'm fine with Zuckerberg, with Cenk Uygur and all these people. I'm not like, there's a lot of these MAGA guys who are like, no, don't welcome them. Hey, take the power where you can get it, you know?
Agreed. We don't have to think that, oh, okay, Cenk and Anna are now, on our team. You don't need to do that in order to take the victory. Be like, okay, yeah, I like that you've said that thing. I appreciate that you've expressed that opinion. That's all it's got to be. DV said, unless they apologize, I give these people no time. Until Anna says she's sorry she called Trump supporters Nazis, I don't believe her. These people are offering no contrition for what they have done. And that, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think they're, going back to the COVID stuff. Remember the Atlantic? Hold on. Let's see if I can find this real quick. Atlantic COVID amnesty. The Atlantic from when was it? Halloween 2022. 2022. Let's declare a pandemic amnesty. Let's focus on the future and fix the problems we still need to solve. And basically just saying like, oh, we, oh yeah, listen to the April 2020 with nothing else to do. My family took an enormous number of hikes. We wore cloth masks that I had made myself. We had a family hand signal, which the person in front would use if someone was approaching on the trail, and we needed to put our masks up. Once when another child got too close to my then 4-year-old son on a bridge, he yelled at her, "Social distancing!" And so you should just give us amnesty. No apology necessary. No acknowledgement that we were wrong. No acknowledgement that we treated you badly. Let's just get over it. And that's exactly why Kyle is behaving the same way he is. Absolutely right, TV. Bill Bradley said X is just Musk making everyone his guinea pigs. He started XAI to experiment with AI modeling with the data collected from X. It's a $50 billion company on its own now, more than he paid for X. I assume he knew to some level that was going to happen. And Nick said, I don't get it because the only vote Gavin Newsom got from me was to repeal his ass. There's that many people. There's that many people that don't see it. They just like, oh yeah, he's good. He's good. The state is on fire right now because of things that were completely in control. That you could have. This didn't have to happen, or at least it didn't need to be that good, that bad. And you just don't care. I was like, we need to get the CCP to come in to visit the forests of California. That's how you get Newsom to clean it up. Zig said, Cenk went full MAGA pivot. No shame. I mean, he seems like the kind that he don't really know what shame even is. He's out there. Thank you, brother. Trudeau first. Next, Gavin Newsom. Take him out politically. Take him out politically. Politics. I remember how Cenk went on about Rittenhouse. Yep. And I remember that is one thing Anna did apologize for. It was like 2 years ago. She was like, oh, wait. I thought that he killed black people. Whoops. That's who these people, and these are the thought leaders. These aren't just the low, the lowly people who are watching that and in the background. These are the people who this is their job. It's their job to know this shit. And it's pathetic. It is fucking pathetic.
Not like there's a lot of these MAGA guys who are like, no, don't welcome them. Hey, take the power where you can get it. You know what I mean? If Zuckerberg is now going to open up Meta so we can start using the platform, making money, promoting content, sending a message, it's a good thing. And I will add that putting Dana White on the board means that even throughout the next
he's so stupid and pathetic, right, Kyle?
Administrations, it's going to be a shield against this kind of censorship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dana ain't gonna let that shit fly.
No, I would agree. And I think, look, I don't want to discredit Elon. I when I compare the two, I think Elon Musk, in my opinion, saved free speech in America. I mean, I think let's think about it. If he doesn't take over X, I mean, yes, we've got some of these other platforms popping up, but it was like,
I mean, again, the fact that most people are on X and the fact that Elon took it over is huge. But sorry, I'm trying to get myself centered here. But I will still always ride for the conversations and the community aspect of how TikTok works. You may not find a lot of content that is, really hard hitting, but when you do, everybody else who cares about it has seen it. And that way you can make a TikTok video about another video, and it will go out to a bunch of people that know what you're talking, and you can start a conversation that way. They also have a really good feature where you can, and I think they started doing this on YouTube. I haven't really used it, but you can reply to a comment with directly with a video. And so it fosters conversation. I don't know. I will ride for TikTok. And if Kevin O'Leary buys it, I mean, hey, we in business. Anyville said after the United States takes over Canada, Greenland, and Panama, we should think about taking over California. Nah, let's trade. Actually, let's just give it to Mexico. And anybody who wants to cross the border, technically it's still America, but they just got to stay in California. Bill Bradley said, does California not do controlled burns anymore? Like basic forestry management? Did they waste all their money on that monorail that never happened? Yup. That's California.
Like you said, Tim, the guy risked everything, put his money on the line, his freedom, his ability to own these companies, the control of them. And I think, he bet not just on the right horse, but on the right idea that the people were going to be with them. And I think they are.
I think the long or the long and short of it is if Zuckerberg is going to end the fact checkers and they're going to have something like community notes and they're going to actually try to open up to have free speech be a principle on the platform, I think it's an overall good.
Yeah, overall good, but the keyword is try. We will see how it pans out. Shout out to Marky Mark. Bonzig said even Tim Pool seems fine with the Facebook changes now. Yeah, well, in the same vein as TYT, take the wins where you can get them. He's saying things that, if true, are good. So if he says it and then doesn't come through with it, well, then that, we can cross that bridge when we come to it. But for now, he's saying the thing we like. So, all right, I like that free speech shit. So let's get more of that.
Be a principle on the platform. I think it's an overall good. That doesn't mean you have to like Zuckerberg. That doesn't mean you have to trust him. I'm not like, I post on my Instagram page a couple times a month, maybe. Like, I don't use Meta properties. I don't use Messenger. I don't have a Facebook page that I run.
That's the only thing I use it for is Messenger with my people, so why is Kyle so upset? Because he wants to, he doesn't like free speech. He wants, his thumb on the scale. It's that simple. He said it himself.
I don't use Meta properties. I don't use Messenger. I don't have a Facebook page that I run or that I use. I closed my personal one down, like my public personal page down.
Yeah. And then, like I talked about when was it? Was it November or December when they switched over with StreamYard? And I used to have the premium version where you could have, I think, up to 10 different destinations where we were on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and X and Rumble and Kick and all those places. And, I just wasn't getting any traction on, especially on Kick, but especially on Facebook. I just wasn't getting any traction. And so when StreamYard then changed it and upped the prices, I was like, well, I mean, I'm not gonna pay. It was like $800 for the year to get all of those slots. And so I was like, you know what? It just makes sense to go with YouTube, X, and Rumble. If I need to do something on Facebook or one of the other places, I still can. But with the first tier paid plan, you can only do 3 different destinations. So if Facebook was better, then there would be more of a reason to pay StreamYard money to get content on Facebook. But right now, just like Tim said at the beginning, or his manager said, it's dead. It's dead. He said, publish the algorithm, then I'll think about it. Fair enough. He is definitely a child. He is definitely a child. It's sad.
I closed 2018 because they do the whole throttling, you know, where you can't get your people that follow you don't see your posts. I had like, it wasn't a big page, it was like 60,000 or whatever, but like I would post something and maybe like 150, 200 people would see it. So I'm just like, all right, well, there's no point in posting anything on here. I'm not getting anything out to anyone. And I post even back then, posting on Twitter, I knew more people were seeing what I posted on Twitter than on Facebook. So I mean, I'm not saying that he's a guy to be trusted. I'm not saying that Facebook is the be all end.
Like that is a good point. There's a lot of money on the table there. So I mean, Hollywood be damned. There is a lot of money, but I don't know. I think we taking Canada and Greenland, and again, maybe we don't really need it. Maybe.
But look, if there's a person that's saying the same things, like free speech is important, these are the things that we should care about, that's good. Cenk Uygur talking about that stuff, that's good. Anybody that's going to,
whether he means it or not, by just speaking it, you are normalizing it. And again, as Bill is talking about, the place we were at with the thumb on the scale for the left, or more the establishment, but the left, that became the new normal. And so now, when we're going to actual neutrality, it seems like oppression. Nick said, even with them trying to run the state into the ground, we got that one, yeah. Gonzaga said, if you love TikTok so much, why don't you marry it? Bro, let's go. I definitely would marry TikTok. Listen, California has international shipping to Asia, which encourages manufacturing to operate in the state with close access to ports for overseas trade. It saves on transportation. But again, if we have Canada now, that might be a little bit more going north to the Asian channels, but maybe it's worth it. If I love TikTok so much, and you guys know, I love you, Funk. It's just very curious to me how boomerish you guys can be when it's like you don't know what it is, and you're so confident being like, "Oh, that's gay." Like, all right, dude, if you think so. Next in California is awesome. Is it that? I'm just kidding. He said, oh, that's what. Hold on. Oh, Jesus. I'm pinching the nerve here. Next, we have everything. If you like the outdoors, I don't really, but that's just me. We just have the worst government. Yep. TV said Trump is a ballsy motherfucker. Leaves office with 53 states and a constitutional amendment. Top that. I don't think you can. No, I'm talking about you and Guamtech in this particular instance.
Stop being, being
me
ideologically motivated by what the government and what the left has been pushing for the past, 10 or so years. Anyone that's moving away from that, I say we welcome them in at the very least to say you can listen to what they're saying. That's not saying that you have to trust them or anything.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. What did anybody think was going to happen? Because I've seen there's a lot of people I respect who are saying do not welcome these liberals in, who are now coming around and saying, oh, you know what? Oh, like Cenk Uygur is the perfect example. Yeah. And the point being made is,
I think that's going to be, as we move forward, I think that's actually going to be a bigger factor in the divide on the right, is whether or not you're willing to, welcome in new people who previously were, like Cenk and Anna. It's one thing to be some random person and be like, oh, I used to be liberal and now I get it. Yeah, everybody's going to welcome that person in. But if you're if you're a TYT, if you're a Luke Beasley, if you're a fucking Kyle Kalinske, then you're going to need to do a little bit more work. You're going to need to show a little bit more investment before you get any trust. Again, that doesn't mean that when you say a thing that I can't appreciate that that thing was said.
You know what? Oh, like Jen Cougar is the perfect example.
Yeah.
And the point being made is the liberals who came out before the election and said, I've realized we got to do this and help Trump win. Everybody's okay with that. They're like,
you just own my ass, bro. Well, so the issue is that we are not in a left-right movement. We are in an anti-establishment moment. Trump did not build a conservative movement. He built a populist movement, which is why you see some former Dems in it. Because it's not conservative, it's populist. Yeah, agreed. And it seems like every day I'm what's the word I'm looking for? So, okay, back up a little bit. I was going to do a debate review of a debate I had in 2021 today. But then, I figured this is just too relevant to talk about. So we'll push that till Friday. But I was saying in that stream from 2021 that, I'm not a conservative. I hate conservative, the conservative label and whatever. But if not being in favor of, trans the kids or whatever makes me conservative, then fine, I'm conservative. So that was a few years ago. And so since then, I've been totally fine with, I'm conservative. I usually say I'm more conservative. But as we've gotten past the election, it's showing me I'm not a conservative. I'm more politically homeless than anything else. I'm definitely not a leftist, but I'm just more of a classical liberal. And right now, that places me in the MAGA camp. But exactly what Bill is saying, it's not the same thing. Infom said, agreed. California has the best renewables. Get cold in the winter, just light up the forest. Yikes. Bill said, conservatives are looking at these things as conservative wins, despite so many non-conservatives in the movement. Well, I mean, but we're looking at these conservative wins. So yeah, So I think we're saying the same thing here. That there's going to be the types of conservatives like I don't want to cast aspersions. So like myself, who are more liberal minded in the classical sense, and then you just walked away not 30 seconds ago. I know you're hungry. You gotta lay down. There you go. And so the people who are like, no, we need to make the old GOP. That ain't me. That ain't me. So if that's where the Republican Party is going after Trump, I might have to go libertarian. Matthew King said it's hard to be open to people that called me Nazi for 4 years. Agreed, but either be open to them or push them away. It's not really about you. It's not really about you or me or Tim or anybody else. It's about America. It might be hard to open up to people who called you a Nazi for 4 years. But if now they realize, oh, I was stupid for calling you a Nazi, that's good for America. And to say, well, my fifis are still hurt. You call me a Nazi. I'm not even going to be listening to what you have to say. When you put it like that, you know what I mean? King Nirvana hopped up on birthday ice cream cake. Dilly to our boy. Everybody put happy birthday, King, in the fucking chat right fucking now. Anybody doesn't say happy birthday to King is getting booted forever. Team Viersky said they can come on the porch.
What? Beta.
Why do you want people to come on the porch? No, I'm just kidding. They can come on the porch, not ready to let them in because contrition. And again, fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, there we go. An open-minded individual. Yep. Matthew said, I don't hate them like they hated us, but I am not going to trust them.
Bingo.
That is the way to go. Shout out to Quam Tech. Said, stop being hungry, Morty. That will never, ever, ever, ever happen. He is always hungry, right? Thank you so very, very much, sir. And of course, that means a treat for Morty. And hey, Funkmaster bringing us to another where's my applause there? Another $2, no question, no comment, just pure love of the puppy. And a Gary Grant also coming through. Thank you so very, very much. Good job, guys. Good job. And happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy motherfucking birthday. Beautiful. I love this community, guys. I love you guys. I love this. I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much fun. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Bill Bradley said, what I mean is that there will likely be a divide in the MAGA movement between the conservatives and the populists. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a coming. It's a coming. Hopefully, the left is still collectively bad enough that we all being MAGA and those eventual two factions still have enough to coalesce and be, again, on the same team. Will that happen? I don't know, but we can hope. We can hope. Dylan said, I think there needs to be a new word to describe what we are. Conservative isn't the right word for us, and yet the conservative camp isn't utterly insane and opportunistic. I just say MAGA. At this point, MAGA is its own thing. So, I mean, I don't know how long that's going to last because of what we were just talking about, but at least for now, I like I'm not conservative. I'm MAGA. I think that's fair. Like, does that mean anything to you? Let's see. Okay, let's make that a poll. Let's do. I'm not conservative. I'm just MAGA. Makes sense. All right. Well, let me know. King Nirvana said, if Dave does ever run, I'm voting and going all in. I said, shit. Me too. Do they realize it, though? Going, I don't hate them and trust them, but I'm not going to trust them. I mean, that's to be seen. Hopefully they will come to realize it. But that is the work that needs to be done. Bill Bradley said, the Dems are definitely the party of the establishment at this point. That is why they like the support of the Cheneys, because the establishment is the DNC now, and has been for quite a while. Shout out again to King. Hope you are enjoying your birthday. Von Zig said, Biden done a lot of damage to the Democratic Party. The votes were more against Biden than for Trump, in my opinion. The fact that it wasn't Biden, though, kind of goes against that. Because if that was the case, then when they slipped Kamala in there, then they would have been, voting against Trump. So I disagree. I honestly think that, it really is about the fact that people are waking up to the fact that Trump is a good leader. Just that simple. Any film said TikTok sounds like some commie gobbledygook, and also happy birthday, King. Okay, Boomer. I don't know a thing, therefore it's bad. Fun fact, it's also Elvis Presley's birthday. Well, that's a cool birthday to share. We got another one from Funk Master General. Thank you, guys. 3 minutes left, and we are halfway there. 5 more, and I'm on the floor. Thank you so very, very much. Let me do some math here. Make sure we're all caught up. Nobody hit the 10, right? We got 2. We got 2, 4, 2, 4, 6. Yep, we are good. TV is still holding on to that sponsor spot. 2.5 minutes, guys. 2.5 minutes.
We got to do this and help Trump win. Everybody's okay with that. They're like, we get it. Not everybody figured it out at the same time. Some people figured it out in 2015. Some people figured it out in 2020. I was late to the party, of course. And the question is, did you try to help Trump win, Or did you fight against him? And now that you've lost, you're turning it around. I get it. I think it's fine to criticize these people. But what did anyone think was going to happen when we won? These people are going to beg to be on the right side of history. So the right side of history. I say, look, take the power where you can, but just recognize you can't trust them in the long run.
Yeah.
I think I thought that was a newer thing. Maybe they got rid of it and they're bringing it back, but I think there's something where you could do like a 10 or 30-second video, but I would have to look into it. Bill Bradley said, we are anti-establishment populists. It's a common outcome in a nation where the public loses trust in their government. I suppose saying anti-establishment populist is redundant. Populist movements are always anti-establishment. Fair, yeah. So I mean, I guess just a MAGA populist. That's good for now, because again, we have things like the woke right coming up, and the term meaning the usage of the term is coming up a lot more, and I don't know. I think we're gonna see a lot of different factions coming from that. Hey, shout out to Nick, another $2. Thank you so much. Make you holla. And of course, a treat for Morty. And then Indyville. Thank you so very, very much, guys. We got 1 minute, 3 left, and we hit our goal. Oh, let's get this one for Morty right now. There we go. Thank you. Oh, fuck again. Oh my goodness, we're so close. We're so close. There we go. Yummy. Thank you, sir. 30 seconds. That's just 2 more, guys. 2 more in 30 seconds. You got it. I say,
look, take the power where you can, but just recognize you can't trust them in the long run.
Yes.
So if Cenk Uygur is going to his audience and saying MAGA's not that bad, say thank you, because I'll tell you what's going to happen. He's going to go to his audience. He's going to say, guys, listen, we've got.
Yeah, absolutely. Matthew King is saying less people are never Trumper nowadays. I am a perfect example of that. If you guys saw the was it Friday or whenever we last covered my old podcast, I was sincerely a never Trumper. 1000% never Trump. And again, I didn't vote for him in 2020, but that was because I was just so afraid of the confidence I had in voting for Hillary. So I was scared. And it didn't get there. Shout out again to Funk Master General. Another $2. Make you holla. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, guys, we missed it by 1. So let's do, what should we do? Let's say, okay, we're at $27. Let's see if we can get $15 in total from all of you. Then we'll hit the goal. How about that? And as we speak, another one. I gotta check the math now. We might have a new sponsor. Let's see. From Funk, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. The new sponsor of the stream. Thank you so very, very much. Always coming through for me, brother. Thank you so very, very much. I don't know where everybody is tonight. I thought we'd have a lot of people in here, but we only just hit 50 views. I don't even know, but you guys come through for me, so it don't even matter. Thank you so very, very much. Let's keep it riding.
What's going to happen? He's going to go to his audience. He's going to say, guys, listen, we've got to work with them. They won. We get it. If one person who watches Young Turk says, it's a fair point, I want to get stuff done.
Exactly.
And then they go and they watch this show. Then they go, I didn't know that. Then they say, I'm more moderate than I realized. Cenk's an okay guy. Tim's an okay guy. We're winning if that happens. So when Mark Zuckerberg says, no more fact checkers, you can now talk about immigration, gender, and all this stuff, we're winning. Yeah. I don't like Mark Zuckerberg. It's not personal, it's professional. I think he just bends the knee and does whatever he's told because it's a cheap and easy path. But if we get this is big for us. I got to talk to my marketing team and social media team and be like, let's take a look. I'll tell you this.
Before he goes into that, let's grab a few of these that we missed. Bill Bradley said, woke right is funny. It often just means traditional conservatives with traditionally conservative sensibilities. That is not the way that I use it. I use it in as almost not a perfect mirror, but almost a mirror of the woke left. And so it's different positions and different ideas, but they come from the same place. They come from using identity politics, immutable characteristics, talking about the Jews, talking about white people, talking about and not necessarily about immigration, because that's not necessarily that's not an immutable characteristic. But when you go to identity politics and you're talking about this that because of immutable characteristic, that's exactly what we all hated about the left for the last 10 years, and now you're doing exactly the same thing. The new right calls the actual conservative right woke right. I mean, it's definitely not well defined. I'll give you that, but that's not my understanding at all. That is not how I use it. TV said, yeah, Tim, I remember when you figured out 2A in 2020. That's late to the party. Very true. And I probably in 2020. No, it was before that. But even so, I was still very anti-gun for a long time. Bill's still saying there's no woke right. There are actual conservatives that are upset populists are taking over their party. So again, this is why we need to have that conversation, because everybody's using this term in a different way. And the group that I'm talking about absolutely exists. People on the right who are obsessed with identity politics, whatever you want to call it, those people actually absolutely exist and are absolutely bad for America and bad for the MAGA movement. Whether what else you have to say about what woke means or what's actually conservative or whatever it is, fine. I'm not married to the woke right as a phrase, but the important thing is understanding the people on the right who are obsessed with identity politics are harmful both to the movement and to the country. Bones Egg said they gave Kamala 3 months to campaign was never enough. Biden was an asshole. Supposed to be a one term, but he had to be forced out. Well, technically, he wasn't forced out. He's still the president. He is not able to run for president, but he can be the president. What? So the more Kamala spoke, the worse her numbers got. If she had longer, she would have lost by even more. I think you're right. Dems voted Jill Stein as a protest vote. Oof, that says a lot, because Jill Stein is kooky. She is kooky. Thank you again for the share. Very, very, very much appreciated. Bill said it's not a legitimate label for the right. Identitarian right is just racist. Always existed. Fair. But again, there is a faction of the right, especially online, where identitarian racism is accepted. And I'm not with that. So, fuck Israel. Fuck Hamas. Fuck Palestine. Fuck the entire Middle East. But I'm not going to be out here talking about the Jews. That's some gay woke ass shit. Sorry. That's what it is. T said 2A is like tattoos. You gotta get more than one. I like that. And I do have more and more than one. Yeah, the closest one is about an hour away. So yeah, just driving an hour to be like, hey, I know you're here to shoot your guns by yourself, but do you mind being a teacher for me? Not really realistic, which is why that question about the on the community tab was about online information. But yeah, it's not very plentiful around here because people don't have guns. Bonzig said if Biden stuck to the plan, I don't even think Kamala would have been the candidate. The DNC would have had to follow that primary process. Yeah, and that would have been better for the Democrats. I still don't think it would have mattered. Sounds unburdened by what has been. Well, I mean, I'm jealous, sir. I am jealous. Is it RK got as many votes as Jill Stein and was not even running anymore? Again, just how much it was a protest vote, not against Biden himself, but the entire Democratic establishment. The entire Democratic establishment. There may come a day where we miss Kamala and Biden's silly antics. Probably not, though, right? Probably not. Any film said completely disagree. Racism is a thing of the left, not of the right, and it never has been. That's just not. So you don't think so? Okay, let's break that down then. So if you don't like people because they're Jewish, is that racist or no? Let's start there. Because Nick seems to agree. All right. So if you hate the Jews, is that racist or is that not racist? Let's start there.
Marketing team and social media team would be like, let's take a look. I'll tell you this. We barely use Facebook. And the reason why is every time we put out a video, they're telling me like, well, you mentioned the word trans, and that's probably going to get you demonetized for a week again. And I'm like, then I'm upload just whatever you can upload, I guess. And so we just basically ignore it. And not to mention TikTok, and they're like, TikTok, Trump's now saying, I don't know, maybe we'll keep TikTok around. No, TikTok is still miserable. It's the most censorious platform.
No, it's not. It's just not. That's just not true. Now, I personally have been, I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. I've gotten 5 accounts banned. Just, saying, just repurposing clips from here. So yes, they will censor, but the stuff that I see on there, other people saying, I don't know how they choose, but it gets fucking raw. And he's just saying, you're like, you don't use TikTok. And this is exactly the same thing that all of you do. You see videos from TikTok that go viral on Twitter because they're crazy. And then you think, it's called the representative heuristic. You think that is what TikTok is. But think about if you took the most bottom barrel wide approach videos that exist on YouTube, and that's all you ever saw. Would you ever think that you could come to YouTube to have a discussion like we're having? Of course not. But it's because you don't know any better. And that's fine. If you don't want to use TikTok, don't use TikTok. Sure. But don't talk on shit that you don't know. So still waiting on an answer from Indyville. Okay, hating Jews is racist. Okay, so that is a big thing on the right. What about being a legitimate, self-avowed white supremacist? Or like, let's not even. What about the Groypers? What about Nick Fuentes? Is he racist? He wants to, end interracial marriages. He wants to get rid of anybody who's not white and anybody who's Jewish. So is he on the left or is he on the right? Bill said engagement equals money. So rage bait will become the currency more and more people trade in, unfortunately. Yeah, exactly, Bonzig. It's there. It's there. That is the woke right. That is what I call the woke right, because you are taking positions on people based on their immutable characteristics. That's identity politics. Yeah, sure. I agree with Bill that it's always been there, but there is a specific faction that is not just a Republican, not just in the conservative versus GOP, not even just within MAGA, but within MAGA itself. There's 2 clear factions where people that are okay with that. They're okay with hating the Jews. They're okay with saying no, interracial marriage shouldn't be allowed. To me, that is what I am referring to as the woke right. If you don't like the phrase, the woke right, fine. Again, I'm not married to it. But whatever phrase you want to use, those people, that is who I'm talking about. Shout out to Funk Master General. Oh my goodness. So you do a Richard Simmons style swole stream for King's birthday. I don't know about all that. Let's get Morty his treat here. Thank you so very, very much, sir. That makes you the new, or the you're out sponsoring yourself and hitting the swole goal. So let's give him this. Let's give him this. Come on. All right, here you go, Mort. Go get it. Look at that. Look at that. There you go. Thank you, guys. Oh, my goodness. Do not even tell me you don't fucking like it. What? You don't want it? You don't want it? I bought it for you. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Oh, he's getting interested. He's getting interested. I think he's not really sure. He'll take. We'll leave him alone. He'll love it. But thank you so very, very much, sir. Everybody, put MG in the chat. Thank you. Where were we? Bill said traditionally that would be called the far right. Yeah, but again, it's not just the far right. So there's the far right that exists, but there is people who are not that extreme, but hold identitarian beliefs. That's the group that I'm talking about. Dylan Suit said Fuentes is the obnoxious kid from a school that never grew up. Bingo. And so the people who are willing to listen to that type of stuff, again, that is what I mean when we're talking about the woke right, because your whole shit is based on identity and immutable characteristics instead of ideas and the merit of your ideas. Bill said, now MAGA has been labeled far right, so the actual far right needs a new label, I suppose. Fair. Nick said, I never had a problem with Jews. Still don't, but there are always assholes in every group. But the Jew haters I've known were Democrats. Maybe that's California for you. There you go. Now he's liking it. It's getting silly where I see black people acting like white supremacists. White supremacists or black supremacists? Nipel said the Nazis hated Jews. They were on the left. The KKK hated Jews and they're on the left. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm talking about today. Today, the people who are again, maybe not specifically the Jews, because the left-wing position is to be all for Palestine. I'm just using that as an example. Again, it doesn't matter which identity you're talking about. Identity instead of ideas. If your identity over ideas, you're woke. In my personal opinion, that's the way I use it, and will continue to use it. Bills, I mean, you can argue the National Socialists were an alternative to Marxist international socialism, I suppose, but not sure how you can say the KKK was on the left. They were literally called the Dixiecrats. Yeah, what? That's clearly the left. Film said the Democrats of the South were against interracial marriage. Yep. That is a good question. It's whole wheat flour, wheat bran, rice flour, peanut butter, vegetable oil, and parsley. There we go. Shout out to FMG coming through. There we go. Yeah, right. Should we just call it the scary, right? They're not that scary. They're just stupid. But, shout out to J-Dog. Welcome to the party. The KKK Orange were a Democratic source. But as far as recent times, the KKK is obviously far right today. Yep. The party's flipped, bro. Ironically, they did, though, over the last 15 years. It's just that, they always acted like there was a swap after what was it, after Lincoln or something like that. Once again, black people saying black people is the problem and that white is the solution. What? Very interesting. Because the Republicans were the leftist party at the time, the party of abolition. Democrat is not a synonym for left. The party's flipped, and now they're flipping back. The working class is a manifestation of that shift. So I agree, but again, like when the lefties say the party's flipped, they think that I am blanking right now. What the hell is wrong with me? Lincoln, Jesus Christ, that Lincoln would be a modern day Democrat. That's what they think. It's so far beyond an accounting of history that it's just wrong. I can't just all get along, dude. Even said libertarians are to the right of MAGA and conservatives, and then past libertarians for the on the right are anarchists. But again, that's not necessarily true either. Depending on how you're defining libertarian, because Chase Oliver just won the nomination for the Libertarian Party, and he's basically a leftist. When did the party flip? When did every non-racist Republican decide to join the racist Democrat Party? Yeah, that's the flip that didn't happen. That's what people are talking about, Bill, when we're saying the party's flipped. What we're saying now is that 20 years ago, the Democrats were the party of the working class, and now they're not. Yeah, that happened, but there was no like, okay, guys, we're gonna switch now. That's what the lefties like to say. Matthew said, shit, they're flipping again, so I get to be racist now? Can I tell blacks they can't do stuff without my help? Well, that would just make you a typical leftist. So FDR brought black people into the DNC with the New Deal. You got black people to vote for the racist party. That too happened. And the racists did not want to be in a party with black people. All right. Let's dive back.
TikTok around? No. TikTok is still miserable. It's the most censorious platform. I hear it 50 times a week from all these different people who are like, I got banned. I don't know why.
Okay, fair. Absolutely fair. But there are things that you can say on TikTok that you absolutely cannot say on YouTube, and you get way more reach from it. It's just not black and white. Like, oh, this one's more and this one. It's just not like that.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, TikTok's terrible. No, right? Let's not cut them any slack. No. If they want to change and reform, we'll accept it. But
change from what? What do you fucking think? You don't know what you're talking about. Just say, I don't really know. I hear from other people, but I don't really know. You don't really know. It has to be your specific feed. That's how it works. Somebody else's feed, you're not going to like it because it's for them.
I don't think we should cut the censorship platforms any slack. That being said, we can now start using Facebook again. And I'm hoping this means we can actually make money on the platform, and it becomes a successful path towards spreading a message, fact-checking news, getting rid of the fact-checkers. Let me tell you, man, I put up a video in 2020 when
yeah, I mean, what am I going to do when I poop? What the fuck am I going to do when I poop? Horrible.
The alternate slate submitted their electoral votes, and it was not certified. And it was titled Republican Elector Slate Submits Electoral Votes to, for safe harbor deadline or whatever, which is a fact statement. They did. And this organization fact-checked it as false, claiming they are not the certified electors, which was not what I claimed. Facebook demonetized the channel, costing me money and basically deranking my posts. And when I messaged Facebook, because there's a contact at Facebook you can talk to, they said, this is an independent fact-checking thing. You got to take it up with them. When I emailed the fact checkers, they ignored it and said, it's not a true
Rumble's never taking over
statement. I ended up on the phone with some guy and I said, my statement is a 100.
Well, maybe not in the next 10 years. Maybe in 10 years, we'll be talking about, remember YouTube? Everything's about Rumble now. But
I ended up on the phone with some guy and I said, my statement is a 100% factually correct statement, and I will cite the New York Times. And he's like, yeah, but it's not the real certified slate of electors. And I said, did you watch the video? And he's like, no. And I said, the first thing I say in the video is that the Republicans who were not certified and are not the certified electors cast their votes unofficially, and they're doing it as potentially a placeholder for a lawsuit. And he goes, oh. And I'm like, He's like, oh, I'm sorry, we'll remove that. And that was every day that these companies were doing things like this. Mark Zuckerberg knew what they were doing was wrong. He said in this video that they were politically biased. He knew it. And only now that Trump wins is he going to back off. But fine, I'll take it. I'll take a win when we can. This is what we fought for.
Exactly. We fought for the opportunity to fight more. We fought for the opportunity to level the playing field to continue fighting.
Fought this political battle so that people like Mark Zuckerberg would put out a 5-minute long video saying, I'm sorry.
Yep. Well, the one part in there too, he says is, and this was widely known, but they're going to change their algorithm to, they were kind of suppressing all political or, civic speech.
Yeah.
And that was, like you said, I'm in the same boat, right? I've got a small Facebook page, but I haven't used it really actively for years because Phil, like,
and Morty destroyed that thing.
You said, you're putting all this content up and it's just, they're obviously throttling it.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he's going to, at least give us a fair shake, I think that's just going to be better for everybody.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast.
Right. And so one other thing that I wanted to show you was Joy Reid freaking out because she knows this ain't good. This ain't good.
MSNBC's Joy Reid has choice words for conservatives. She is mocking them over Mark Zuckerberg coming out saying, yeah, we're going to get rid of the fact-checking thing. The video is actually quite hilarious because the lady is not too bright. That's why she recently took a pay cut at her failing network. But while we can bask in the glory that is their defeat, the far left, the woke left, losing everything, important points must be made. And I'm going to say this first and foremost. Mark Zuckerberg coming out and saying, hey, free speech, this is not the pendulum swing. That's a lie. These leftists, these liberals, the people of the institutions and the corporate press are saying that Mark Zuckerberg is just bending the knee to Donald Trump. He's simply going the other direction. No, he isn't. If this was truly going to be a pendulum swing, then what they would do is they'd keep the fact-checking program, but kick out PolitiFact and the Poynter Institute, among others, and they'd bring in Breitbart and the National Review. They'd bring in the Daily Wire and say, from now on, all our fact-checking will be done by our larger media partners in the conservative media space. Yeah.
I get what he's saying, that if the pendulum had swung completely to the other side, that's what we would see. But clearly, the pendulum was, again, using this, woke left versus, conservative right paradigm. It was, I forget what you said.
Done by our larger media.
Oh, yeah. So he's saying, hold on, I'll come back to that. So he's saying like it was all the way to the left. And so if it was the pendulum swing, that would be all the way to the right. That's not how pendulums work. So the pendulum's over here, and before it can get here, where does it have to go? To the middle, to neutrality. So absolutely, going from here to here is in fact the pendulum swinging. That is literally what that means. Has it swung completely to the other side? Of course not. But that absolutely is the pendulum swinging. Bradley said, I love the meltdowns of the left losing their stranglehold on social media. It's fun. It's fun. TV said, I think Joy Reid and Destiny will hook up. Oh my God. Why are you putting that in my head? Oh God. Something said, trying to become an influencer and the COVID madness killed my need for any social media. Really? I feel like that's where all of our addictions really. I feel like that's where all our social media addictions really bumped up, where there just wasn't shit else to do. So you just scroll social media over and over and over and over. Nothing is as bad as that. All right.
Bring in the Daily Wire and say, from now on, all our fact checking will be done by our larger media partners in the conservative media space. Yeah. But that's not what they're doing.
Not yet. But if trends continue, like if the pendulum continues in this same direction, that's where we end up. Am I saying that is going to happen? No. But if it does, then that's the pendulum swinging.
So let's see the smug and smarmy Joy Reid and what she had to say about the issue.
No, I just explained this. This is the wrong way to think. You are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. What you are seeing on YouTube, what you are seeing on Twitter is videos that happen to have gone viral on TikTok for a wide audience. The larger the audience, the lower the barrier of entertainment or substance. If you took the time to scroll through videos that you didn't like and stay on the videos that you do like, and TikTok learned that, then you wouldn't get the idiocy. That's the whole point. You don't need to scroll through the idiocy because they don't show you the idiocy. And as we know, YouTube is very, very heavily censored. And it is true that a lot of people get banned too easily on TikTok. But people get banned on YouTube all the time. We know how bad Facebook at least has been. But the messages that I hear on TikTok, and we're not talking about like, I mean, it might be just some person, just talking, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. But other times I'm getting podcast clips from podcasts I never heard of that has interesting stuff. Matthew King, I do not get any woke bullshit on my TikTok. It's almost like there's an algorithm that's going to show you what you do want to see and not what you don't want to see. And so if you don't have that algorithm, and it just happens to be a video that was on TikTok that is completely disconnected from the experience of being on TikTok. I said I get people making fun of the woke shit. I said, shit, me too, because TikTok knows that's what I want to see. But sure, go ahead and think you know everything about everything. And TikTok is so bad because you don't know anything that... Nick said the irony is that on the right, if you're a racist, you're most likely an evangelical Christian. Just saying. Yup. How do you know it's not your cup of tea? Again, I'm not saying that you have to do it. If you don't want to be on TikTok, live your life. Live your life. What is not your cup of tea? Is this your cup of tea? You don't even know what's in here. You don't know what's in here. You don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. You don't know whether or not it's your cup of tea. You have not tasted the tea. You don't like the social media that we have. But perhaps, and again, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just establishing the fact that this is based on an ignorance of the TikTok experience. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Shout out to birthday ice cream cake. Dilly dilly the king, Nirvana.
In the Daily Wire, and say from now on, all our fact checking will be done by our larger media partners in the conservative media space. Yeah, but that's not what they're doing. So let's see the smug and smarmy Joy Reid and what she had to say about the issue.
Not to mention, this is also social media. So is being on Discord and talking to us.
Why would conservatives think fact-checking is biased against them?
Well, let's start with allsides.com and even Ground News rating these companies, 9 of the fact checkers, as being liberal biased. That's perhaps one reason.
I mean, what are you sharing if you keep getting fact checked?
The truth that they don't want you to hear.
True and correct information that went against the narrative. How about that? Like the Hunter Biden laptop.
Yup.
Think about it. What were conservatives sharing on Meta?
They are not joking. They're not joking. They think they know what they're talking about. And they think it's cool to be like, oh, TikTok's for losers. Oh, brain rot. And They're not joking. They're not joking at all. Matthew said TikTok is an absolute time suck. But I like it better than Twitter for just mindless scrolling at least. Yeah. Absolutely. And it definitely has the aspect of, like I like silly skits and stuff, but then, it knows me well enough to give me other stuff like this. Okay, fine. If you don't care, then don't care. But don't say it's not your cup of tea. Don't say it's not good. Don't say it's bad. Don't say it's this, that, when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You just don't know. That's like me telling you that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu doesn't help in a fight. That's exactly the same as me telling you, oh, I went to 3 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes and I got beat up last week. So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is not my cup of tea. You'd be like, wait, whoa. What do you, wait, hold on. That's not how it works. Can't judge without more info. Bingo. TV, thank you so very, very much for being here. Have a good one. Bill said, I just try to minimize screen time to some extent. I've allowed myself one social media site And like the average middle-aged white dude, I like YouTube. Fair enough. Fair enough. Like I said, TikTok touched me in my no-no spot. Did you ask it? Were you asking for it? Were you asking for it? You whore. Social media in general is not my cup of tea, as he says it on social media. Although I will say it is extremely frustrating that you don't have your Discord notifications on, because all the time I'm like, oh, here's a great video that I know Guamtech would love. And he's just gone. Fair enough. Yeah, Funk. What were you wearing?
What were conservatives sharing on Meta that was getting flagged so much? Are they spreading false information?
No. That was you, honey, sweetie baby.
This lady is as dumb as a box of rocks, and I am reluctant to say such a thing because I fear it is offensive to rocks.
Wait.
But here's the story from Daily Mail.
No, you're gonna play the whole thing, bro. Come on, what are we doing here? Joy Reid on Facebook. And oh, look, it came from TikTok. Look at that. Look at that.
Checking is biased against them. I mean, what are you sharing if you keep getting fact-checked for false information?
Things that they determine that are false that later turn out to be true.
Think about it. What were conservatives sharing on Meta that was getting flagged so much? Are they spreading false information?
All right, and this is where he cut off.
And why were they so eager? And why are Republicans in general so eager to end the idea of fact-checking?
Because we want to be able to say true things and not get punished for saying true things. It's not complicated. Even if you disagree with the statements, how do you not understand that people want the ability to say what they want to say? It's not confusing. When Joy Reid had the wig that looked like Trump's hair, I could never take her seriously again after that. Oof.
What are they trying to share? What is the motivation for not wanting it to be fact-checked?
And you see how she's asking these questions, but she's not actually asking these questions. She's saying this question has no answer. She's not actually asking anything.
Why would conservatives think fact-checking is biased against them?
Because it is.
I mean, what are you sharing?
Is that the end?
And the idea of fact-checking. What are they trying to share?
Oh yeah, that's it. That's her big brain fucking take.
Fact-checked.
Let's see. What's in the tweets here and the replies? And again, an ability that I have on Twitter, because it has an algorithm. A bunch of you can't pull up your Twitter page and just scroll on YouTube, because I don't know what you're doing, but there's gonna be, cheeks that doesn't show up on my TikTok. That doesn't show up. Oh, not my TikTok, my Twitter. That doesn't show up. So I don't know. Let's see. Lionhearted here. Joy Reid is ignorant. Zuckerberg said the fact checkers were too politically biased and destroyed more than created. This is the exact moment when she stopped wearing the Trump wig.
You're an idiot.
Wait.
Joy, just wondering, do you think people with Trump derangement syndrome know they have it?
You're an idiot.
And second question, did you steal Trump's haircut? Did he steal yours? Cultural appropriation haircut right there.
There you go.
She didn't like that too much. Joy Reid, everybody. Trump derangement syndrome. Full swing.
Full swing. Swinging and a swing. All right, let's we're not talking milk dud. Nope. That is offensive to milk duds. Bill Bradley said the echo chamber over at Blue Sky is going to grow. Lots of mental health issues on display over there. I don't know if I agree. I think that is a flash in the pan. I think anything substantial is not, or rather, nothing substantial is happening on Blue Sky. And if it does, then it's going to get over to Twitter. There's absolutely no reason outside of virtue signaling to go over to Blue Sky. So I think for now, there's, it's a little bubble, but people are going to get bored. The same way with Rumble. There was a big on our side. There was a big bump with Rumble when a few people got banned or demonetized or whatever, like especially Crowder. And then that's it. Like if you have a following on Rumble, you have a following on Rumble, but you're not getting discovered on Rumble because people don't browse on Rumble the same way they do on YouTube. Contact. So the way she says you're an idiot almost sounds like she was in on the joke. I'm gonna guess she's never in on the joke. I guess. How X can you say what's happening on Blue Sky? Have you tried it? Yes. Have you? Bill Bradley said, "That's what I mean. The people with mental health issues will run away. That will be the bump. The snowflakes. It won't be competition." Agree. And yeah, I'm interested to see what Dana White is going to do and how involved he actually is going to be. And he said it'll crash. They keep reporting each other, and the normies will bounce. It's going to be a left-wing gab. Agreed. All right, we don't necessarily have to go through this whole thing, but it's only about 10 minutes, so let's see what he's got.
Fear is offensive to rocks. But here's the story from Daily.
That's where I got the milk dud joke from. Stole it!
Mail. MSNBC's Joy Reid is going viral after a fit over Mark Zuckerberg's U-turn on fact-checking. The readout started.
Yeah, but this time, I actually did, though.
TikTok to air her.
You thought you did a thing!
Distaste on Tuesday. The latter was delivered on the air, blah, blah, blah. Why would conservatives think fact-checking is biased against them? Well, heavens me. Let's pull up allsides.com. The end of fact-checking at Meta. An overdue change or pro-Trump pivot. So they basically break it down. All Sides is a great website. You can see here the Western Journal. Zuckerberg drops fact-checking, and they say right biased from the left. Meta says fact-checkers were the problem. Fact-checkers rule that false. All right. Let's pop over that there media bias chart and take a look at the news.
Yeah, I think. I think we're saying the same thing. I think it will remain as like this island of misfit toys, but in terms of competition for Twitter, not happening. I mean, you're fucking coming after me. I'm just responding, motherfucker.
Here's their methodology. Here's how they break it down, and let's pull up their media bias chart. Here we go. So let's take a look at what is considered to be centrist. To answer Joy Reid's question, BBC, the Christian Science Monitor, CNBC, Forbes, The Hill, Market Watch, News Nation, Newsweek, Real Clear Politics, Reason, Reuters. I don't know what SAN is. And the Wall Street Journal. You can pop over to the left and see ABC News, Axios, Bloomberg, CBS, CNN Insider, NBC, New York Times, NPR, Politico, ProPublica, Semaphore, Time, USA Today, Washington Post. Heavens me. On the left, we have The Daily Beast, The Atlantic, The Associated Press. Now, hold on there, gosh darn minute. You mean to tell me that allsides.com has rated The Associated Press as leftist? That's quite interesting. Let me see if I can pull up a document on the list of, let's do this, list of approved Facebook fact checkers. Let's do this. Facebook, a map of Meta's global third party. No, let's get the actual list here. Partnering with, what is this? List of fact checking website. Actually, fact check. So Aaron Sharakman says, we'll have more to say on this, but these are my thoughts. Basically saying the end of the fact checking.
Wait, that's the same Shar Cockman, right? That's where we full circle.
Aaron Sharakman says, we'll have more to say on this, but these are my thoughts. Basically saying the end of the fact checking program has nothing to do with free speech. Video shows Biden wandered off from world leaders at G7 skydiving event. False, they said. It's pretty amazing because he did. And they said, well, he was going to greet someone else. And that's what we are saying. The video in question was Joe Biden standing with a group of world leaders. A skydiver was somewhere off in the distance, and Biden walked off to go talk to the guy. He wandered off from world leaders, and they said, false.
Lies!
Because that was always the dirty game that they played. Let's go back to their article from the media bias fact checker, and then we'll rag on, take a look at this. Common ground on facts and fact checking think misinformation increases hate crimes. They say, how do they break this down? I don't know if they're getting into it on this one. They say, voice on the left, we're less likely to see the alleged political bias of fact checkers as a problem. In the New York Times, with a left bias, fact-checking organization said they had no say over what Meta did with the fact-checked content. A piece in The Verge, a left bias, also quoted fact-checking organizations and researchers concerned that users will now have to wade through virtually unmoderated hate speech and disinformation. Others framed the change as a Trump-friendly shift to the right. And that's basically what I'm trying to get at with this segment. The reason why I want to talk about Joy Reid's hypocrisy in her comments is because this is not a rightward shift.
It is. It is. Going from far left to center left is moving to the right.
Neutrality.
Yes, correct. Moving from left to neutral on a left-right spectrum is moving right. That's just physics, baby.
This is not a rightward shift. This is new.
If he said it's not a shift, like completely to we are on the right now, then yeah, of course. But I mean, it's not complicated. If we're here on the left and the right's over here, and we start here and we end up even here, that's a rightward movement from here to here. Rightward. Bill Bradley said they want a Minority Report. They want to pre-punish people. Your lie might cause violence, so we will punish the speech and not wait to punish the actual crime. Authoritarian left is real.
Bingo.
Yup. You are correct, sir.
Neutrality. And if they're going to make the argument that Zuckerberg is kissing Trump's ring, Trump has settled for neutrality. How about you push back? How about you say, keep doing it, but take away the power from left-leaning outlets? I wonder.
I don't like this take at all. I don't like this take at all. Because in the other video, he was like, hey, take the wins where you can get them. And now you're saying, oh, he's settling. Don't make perfect the enemy of the good.
I wonder if all sides, I can search for Pointer. Let's see if they come up. They give Pointer a centrist rating. Well, okay. Then I'm gonna basically just I'll go with all sides on this one because I'm citing them. Meta says fact checkers were the problem. Fact checkers rule that false. Left bias. That was the name of the game. Zuckerberg sat down with Trump in November. Blah blah blah. And a lot of these wealthy dudes, they're giving money to Donald Trump. But you see, this is the appeal to authority. Excuse me, bias. Let me.
Why is it ironic? I don't get it. Oh, because of the movie. Gotcha. Duh.
Stupid.
Took me a second. But yeah, you're right. Going back to a random question. What's everyone's opinion on cauliflower crust pizza? I'm fucking slamming a whole one right now. I think I had some because my brother's a vegetarian. If I'm not mistaken, I had we had one, and I mean it was good. It's just not pizza. Anyway, said I never usually agree with you, but I agree with you on the moving to the right thing. I mean, I appreciate that, but maybe if my own opinions resonated with you a little more than just physics. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, there's no argument there. There's no argument. It is. Hey, yo, what? I don't even want to know.
Money to Donald Trump. But you see, this is the appeal to authority. Excuse me, bias. Let me keep playing this clip.
Eager. And why are Republicans in general so eager to end the idea of fact checking? What are they trying to share?
The truth.
What is the motivation for not wanting it?
Okay, well, you framed them as questions, so I'll explain to you, Joy Reid.
And notice how you framed them as questions because she's not actually asking anything.
How about when you said you claimed that Trump's transition to power was the most violent in U.S. history? I'm pretty sure that's wrong. The Civil War has a question for you. The ascension of, like, I don't know, Ulysses S. Grant, or like the killing of Abraham Lincoln. We had the council in 1876, which determined who would be the president by like committee approval because they were terrified of another civil war breaking out. Then, of course, you had like the civil rights movement. And of course, you had the Weather Underground. Yeah,
there you go.
Come on. JFK died. How about the most violent transition to power was...
Not that new. It's been around for a while. And using cauliflower as a replacement for bread. Remember when the gluten-free thing was a lot bigger. That's where I first heard of it starting to come around.
Just LBJ, when the other president was murdered. Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
You had the Weather Underground. Yeah, come on. JFK died. How about the most violent transition to power was just LBJ, when the other president was murdered?
Nah, not as bad as J6.
Yeah. This is the problem with quote-unquote fact-checking. You're liars. You're not really fact-checking. You're making up BS. One of the most famous instances is that Snopes waited 7 years to fact-check that Donald Trump did not call neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people. He never did.
Perfect timing after everybody already knew.
But the whole time, this was a lie. And so now we're dealing with these people like Joy Reid going on TV and saying Trump's a convicted felon. You know, the issue here is that's the game they play. Joy Reid's like, you don't like fact checkers. You must be sharing misinformation. If you're stupid and you don't read into it and you're not looking, that's what they're doing to manipulate you. Because it's like when Antifa says, we're not fascist because our name is anti-fascist. And it's like, yeah, and you go around.
Ibram X. Kendi isn't a racist. He's an anti-racist. That means that even if he does racist things, it's not racist, guys.
And mercilessly beating people and firebombing buildings to get your way. You're authoritarians. You have a lot in common with fascists. Oh, that's stupid. We're anti-fascist. That's the game they're playing.
Semantic obfuscation. It is the worst thing we have. Stop semantic. Oh, God damn it. Stop semantic obfuscation. Get yours at TheIndianJesus.com.
So, Joy, it's no surprise your network is dying, and you take a major pay cut. So how about we round off this segment by gloating over Joy Reid being a liar or just really dumb, or why not both? And this story from Yahoo. MSNBC host Rule and Reid taking pay cuts. Take a look at this. I don't know, Reid and Rule. Stephanie Rule, she gets paid $2 million a year. And Joy Reid gets $3 million a year.
I so badly just want to be a terrible person and just talk bullshit and get rich. It would be so easy. It would be so... Joy Reid could do it. $3 million to be stupid. Check that shit out, baby. We got different colors. We got different sizes. Different, you can get a sweatshirt. You can get a V-neck. Show off that chest hair. And you can even get a jacket. Look at that. Look at that. All that stuff on each of our designs. Shout out to Indie Film at TheIndianJesus.com. The DEI bonus. That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah, they're not even journalists. These are news readers. Exactly. Other people do actual journalism, such as this, which isn't great. Hey, shout out to Nick Lucchetti. Closing off us another $2. Make you holla. Puppy, appreciate you. Thank you. So because you and the chat are awesome tonight. Dilly to the chat. Dilly. Good callback. The cream does not always rise to the top. Well said, sir.
$1 million a year. And Joy Reid gets $3 million a year. We've got to put an end to this industry, my friends. As Michael Malice likes to say,
you are the media now.
Something to the effect of, the battle rages on until people will judge the corporate press the same way they do tobacco executives. And I'm paraphrasing, I don't have an exact quote, but I agree. We need to look at people like Joy Reid and Stephanie Rule and say they are scumbags, they are liars, and their intention is not to inform you of what's going on in the world, it's to trick and manipulate. Now, it may just be that they're both very stupid, but I don't think so. You know, people want to make fun of Donald Trump.
I mean, two things can be true at the same time.
Call him an idiot. I'm like, you don't get to this position by being a moron. So they're going to whinge and they're going to cry about Mark Zuckerberg and all of that. But you know what? All that matters is we are winning. And despite the fact this is not a swing in the direction of the right, it's neutrality. Well, okay, it is a swing back to the right only in that they're so far left, it's going to the center.
What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? Ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
Enter. The pendulum stopping there.
Well, just in case you missed
this
it.
This is not a swing in the direction of the right. It's neutrality. Well, okay, it is a swing back to the right only in that they're so far left, it's going to the center. But the pendulum stopping there. From here, it's going to be up to us to push the culture. and make sure that we drown out these liars. I'll leave it there. Smash that like button, share the show with everyone you know, become a member of
Good call, Indie Film. I apologize to Funk Master General. Wait, didn't I change it? No? What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? I don't even know what you mean. It says $32, clearly. My apologies. Thank you for letting me know. I know you guys don't necessarily care to get the accolades or whatever, but it matters to me because it means so much to me. So I know that Funk Master, you don't give a shit, but I do. So thank you for letting me know. Indie Film, and exactly why not both? They're not mutually exclusive. Bill Bradley said Trump getting to his position of power in the face of constant character assassination means he is smart. Reading the news, well, in no way is comparable. What is Tim saying?
Stupid.
I don't know, man. I don't know. And like, I don't. Okay, allow me to amend this statement. This is just a word that's in my mind right now. But I feel myself souring on Tim a little bit as time goes on. And it's not like I didn't like that, and so now I'm not going to listen to you anymore. It's like more and more. And it's not like crazy. I don't hate him. I don't think he's, a bad person or anything like that. But I used to be very much aligned with almost everything that he said. And the more that comes out, the more I'm like, not quite. Not quite. Hey, yo! Oh my goodness. Is that why you asked about the sponsor spot? There we go. We'll get a full one for $50. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very, very much. So just sold some Bitcoin to pay some bills. Here's some for you, Morty. He very, very, very much appreciates, and shout out to Bitcoin. Hell yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And again, even though I have no other content left for you guys. Oh shit. I don't even know. Wait. Okay. Wait. We got 252, baby. There it is. Indie Film. Indie Film. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very, very much. Yeah, right? How the mighty have made money. I honestly do think that has something to do with it, which I don't see as the worst thing in the world. It makes sense that as your status in the world changes, so will your opinions. But yeah, I'm just I don't agree as much anymore. Bill Bradley, thank you so very, very much. I really do appreciate you, all of you guys. You guys are amazing. That is the end of what I have. Here's what we can do. Check me out right here. Come on. What? Hold on. A sneak peek. We can do a sneak peek at Friday's show. So give me a second here before we do our go. What is happening? Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. What? There we go. All right. And give me a second here. Give me a second. She got fired. What is happening here? And okay, hold up. I want to show you a sneak peek. Control F. Boom. Is that it? Nope. Okay. Little sneak peek. Little sneak peek for what we are doing on Friday. So this was a vaccine debate between myself with terrible hair and this guy Anirudh Garg. Support this, but the majority of people that I have heard, listened to, talked to, seen express an opinion, have been emphatically for the jab and emphatically against the mandates. And so I think if this were to go to through the proper legal channels, then most people in any given state would likely shoot it down. And if they didn't, then that's fine, because then that doesn't there's still the rest of the country, which is still not cool to it's just not cool to have that. But at least there's a way out. You're just saying, I decide now that because of your opinion, you don't get to be a real American.
When did I ever say that?
Not
I
you,
never said
Biden.
you weren't American. I mean, I will say this.
All right. Are you listening? Are you listening?
It's probably the one of those inflammatory things that I say. People who refuse to get the vaccine are bioterrorists.
That's such an empty thing to say. Like, that's not what that word means. Like, that's just not what that word means. And this is, you're talking, you want to come in, and I'm sure you would go
They're not legally
buck wild.
bioterrorists.
Jesus Christ. I'm flabbergasted at how flippant the left is with just using these grandiose words and just flinging mud. You just semantic obfuscation. Call me a terrorist, bro, on my own stream.
A bioterrorist, yes.
That's still a terrorist.
It's a subclass of terrorist, yes.
And you're just okay with throwing that around.
Oh, definitely.
Do you think you genuinely think I am terrorizing people by only interacting with my dog and people who invite me into their homes?
So
I'm a
not
bioterrorist.
Not in a legal sense, not in any type of like you're violent, but you are contributing to
What
the creation
what
of
other
new-
sense is there? What other sense is there?
I guess the colloquial sense that you are contributing to the possible.
Oh, so the thing that you made up for this conversation.
No, just my personal feelings.
But that's your person. So I based on my personal feelings, colloquially, you're a bald white guy. That's the exact equivalent to what you just
Yeah,
did.
and they both have
That's the
EKs.
exact equivalent to what so much of the problem with the left is that you just make up words. You use these anti bizarro words. Anti-racism is treating everybody by their race. Anti-fascism is using violence to enact your political policies. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the fact that you could say this is in good faith, and I'll take that back, because sadly, I believe you are here in good faith.
Oh, I am in good faith.
And I do believe that, and that's what's even sadder about this. Because if you were trying to be, if you're trying to be malicious, I could see what you were doing. But the fact that you are using those same tactics and you think that you're being fair and you think that that's intellectually honest means that your frame of reference for what is acceptable civil debate is so very low that you think that's acceptable. Just, oh, I don't know, you don't agree with me, so you're a terrorist. That's a good faith debate? Tune in Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, if you would like to see that. And if you said, I don't remember seeing this episode, but I hope you can get this guy back on so he can apologize profusely. I will hit him up, but as you can see, this was the pre-TIJ, pre-IndianJesus. I was just Lutch. I dry be Lutch. That was back then. So make sure, if you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe. I will be live Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Definitely not going to be here tomorrow. I am going out to dinner with Papa Lutch and going to hopefully try to get, something done with voiceover work. So maybe I can quit my other job, do more stuff for the channel. All good stuff. I am constantly thinking about ways to improve this, working towards whatever I can do to make this everything that I dream it to be. And the biggest part of that is the community. It is the community. As much as I fucking love being able to sit here and nobody can, I don't have to pull up any of your chats if I don't want to. I can say whatever, even though I do. I can do whatever I want and da-da-da-da-da-da. But what I really, really love is spending time with you guys in Discord, whether we're, having conversations about politics or whatever else, or if we're in the voice channel in the after party, spending time with you guys, that is what it's all about. And as we continue to grow, we will be able to actually turn that into something that can have effects in society. That's what it's all about, guys. So thank you so very, very much to all of you who donated. But we got our boy Indie Film as the sponsor. Thank you so very, very much. We also had a 20 from Funkmaster General and TV Viewerski going with the PayPal for $10. Guys, thank you again so very, very much. Let's keep the party raging and head on over to the after party. Once again, guys. Oh, look how cute he is. This is the Overlord, a.k.a. Marty, my co-host, and I am Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Oh. Good call. It's going to take me a few times to remember that we're pushing it to the end, but we got us. Whoa, no! Let's go! We got 20. Let's go! Who paid themselves? Who paid themselves? Let's go! Amazing, guys. Amazing. Thank you so much. It's the whole world. Good call on I did an extra 5. Because I forgot. But that's how you pay yourselves. Before we go, let me know who else did it. Jesus Christ, didn't realize I had an injured shoulder until now. Yikes. But 20 push-ups, all the same. Guys, I love you to the end of the world. Let's go after party. Thank you so very, very much. I love you guys to the end of the earth. Ooh, Nick with 33. Trying to flex. God damn. I'm going to have to talk to you about that in the after party. Until next time, guys, once again, that is Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are